Welcome into Laurinburg, North Carolina.
We would like to extend a warm welcome to all relatives in attendance as a part of St. Andrews University's family weekend. Today is also our breast cancer awareness
matchup here this evening between the Union College and the St. Andrews Knights. Perry, Gabriel, James Melink for you guys here this evening. Beautiful day, a little bit windy.
Well, yeah, it's always windy when we come down here. Of course, you're closer to the sand hills and closer to the beach. I guess we're getting some of that wind off the beach, maybe.
Yeah, getting a little wind off the beach, but all in all, beautiful day. And Perry, we got two teams here, both looking for their first win on the year. A compelling matchup today.
Yeah, these two teams are similar in nature. They have faced some stiff competition the last, not just this year, but over the last 3 weeks and last year. I was looked at St. Andrews. They faced 8 teams of, and we're going to go to national anthem because we're just going to pause right here. They've started the national anthem, so. All right, so back here at St. Andrews following the national anthem, but James, like we were saying right before that, is these two schools have played stiff competition over the last, not just this season, but the last few seasons. And I was looking at it, St. Andrews has played 24 games, and 10 of them have been against nationally ranked opponents. And I'm sure Union's in the same boat, being in the same conference, the likes of Lindsey Wilson and Reinhardt and schools like that. But these two teams both coming here today 0-6. They don't score a lot of points, each team averaging about 7 points per game. They're giving up 38 plus per game. But you got to think of the mindset when you're playing an opponent that is similar to you. You and I were talking about this off the air prior to our show today. There's got to be a sense of, hey, let's step it up because this is an opponent they know, each team knows that they can compete with.
Yeah, like you said, they feel like they can step it up here in this game and have a shot to compete against each other for a win. And even when you're playing an opponent like a Lindsey Wilson or a Reinhardt or somebody like that that's that nationally ranked team, you want to bring your best game then because then you get that upset. But it's even more when you have a shot against a team that's evenly matched like this one here in this Appalachian Conference game.
Yeah, like I said, they're both 0-6. Conference game for Union. This is their first one, St. Andrews, 0-2. But Union comes in, they're out of Barberville, Kentucky, but coming in 100 yards per game on the ground, 120 passing, roughly just a little over 200 yards. And you and I know, and anyone that follows football knows that 200 yards per game doesn't accumulate into a lot of points.
That's true.
And part of their problems that they've had is turnovers. They have committed a lot of turnovers. They've given the ball away to the other team. And, you know, when you give more possessions to the other team, you can't score.
Exactly.
And so that's been their big problem, big issue all year long. St. Andrews, on the other hand, we saw them a couple weeks ago. They were in the game with Reinhardt till late. Had a couple of turnovers, and that doomed them as well.
And they forced some turnovers, some big key turnovers in that game to keep them in that game.
Right, and then they lost one of their injured players there, wide receiver, and it hurt their offense.
They did. They lost Arsonis Cook, a big player they lost here from right up the road in Glenn High School, right in the state. Yeah. They lost him, but there's going to be a guy that can fill those shoes. Played his first game last time we were here, only had a couple days practice. And McCoy transferring from Southern Miss.
Yeah, so that's going to be a big matchup tonight. Is who can limit the turnovers, who can keep the ball, who can get a sustained drive. Not saying you have to score every time, which would be nice, but field position with the wind that we've seen here today. If you have to punt today, you're punting into that wind. You're not going to get a good punt off. I can promise you that already. We're not going to see large punts one way for a couple quarters today. So that's going to be the key, the field position. When you don't have offensive players, when you don't have teams that are used to 70, 80, 90-yard drives, when you can get a short field, 30, 40, 50 yards maybe, then it helps your offense because you don't have to require them to do as much.
And we saw that a couple of weeks ago. You just brought up field position. We saw that a couple of weeks ago, you and I did, when we went and called the West Rowan versus Northwest game. The stats on paper looked very similar, but when you saw the field position Northwest got compared to West Rowan,
yes,
completely different score.
Yeah, and stats can tell you a lot of things, but they don't tell you everything. So, again, these two teams, neither team's won. They've won 2 or fewer games the last 4 years between the two. They each had one win last season. We saw St. Andrews beat Kentucky Christian here in the battle of the
Knights Classic.
The Knights Classic. Those two teams will meet later this year up in Kentucky. And then the teams didn't play last couple of years because of COVID and because of some forfeit issues. But the last time these two teams did meet, St. Andrews came out on top 52-18. So, again, I'm looking for the field position. I'm looking for what team can kind of establish, hold on to the ball, not turn it over today, and I think that's the team that walks out of here victorious today.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of ground running with the win. You brought that up. Punting's going to be a big factor. Which way are you going to be kicking the ball late in the game? If it's a tight game, are you kicking into the wind, or is the wind pushing the ball for you? It's going to be a big factor. I think there's going to be a lot of ground running in this game, so I look for a lot of hard football today.
Yeah, Robert Curtin, first year for St. Andrews. John Luttrell, Union College. They're set to go at it. We are just about 10 minutes away from game time, but we're going to go back and get situated here in the booth and bring you some more information here. And we're going to follow some college football today as well, some big games on tap. We'll bring you up to date on those. And again, from Laurinburg, North Carolina, James Melink and Perry Gabriel. All right, we are back here at St. Andrews getting ready for the coin toss. Our cameraman Mark Plemmons out on the field as the captains for St. Andrews ready to make their way out, and Union on the far side. Very beautiful day. We've been blessed with good weather down here most of the time.
Yeah, we've had some gorgeous weather down here most of the time. Sometimes it's a little windy, but we mentioned that we're closer to the beach here than we have been at most of the time in Charlotte. You see Mark right there in the shot wearing the neon yellow jacket. He's out there for the coin toss, the visiting team, Union College, to call the coin toss here.
And we also want to mention it's October, which means it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so to all those that have lost someone for breast cancer or have someone going through breast cancer, our thoughts and memories and prayers with those. But you'll see some of the players wearing the pink outfits today, socks and arms with the sleeves. And Union won the toss, and they elected to defer, so St. Andrews is going to be first on offense.
Number 2, Josh Smith. Number 5, Devon Moore. Number 17, Damari Owens.
And like we say, folks, we never know because the clock says 7 minutes before kickoff, and but we all know that clock operators sometimes don't get in with the officials, and we never know what time kickoff's going to be. But as we are a couple minutes away now, Union will come out. They'll be wearing the black pants with white jersey tops, black and orange numbers. St. Andrews will come out with white pants and blue tops.
And something I forgot to mention there at the top of the broadcast while we were talking about this, we talked about these two teams both looking for their first win. But we also forgot to mention both of these teams next week heading into a bye. How much sweeter is that bye week with a win?
Well, you know, you say that, and I'm gonna switch the table with you on that, because I think if whoever comes out of here with a win today, they're excited, they're ready to go, and oh, wait a minute, we got to wait another week now before we play again.
Yeah,
that could be good and bad. As St. Andrews down to our far left, getting ready to come on the field, but you know, sometimes I think Coach may say, you know, we've got that momentum, we've got our first win, we're excited, boys, we've got some confidence. Hey, let's play somebody next week. Now, the downside of that is, okay, yeah, let's go play a nationally ranked team, team that you know is better than you. You know, so yeah, you could use that to your advantage. Yeah, it's going to, like you said, be sweet by week. You can enjoy it a little bit longer, or you can use that momentum and to carry it into your next game.
As we await the entrance of the Knights have their mascot here with them this evening, the horse. In trot for the first game, not here this time. The horse is here for the Knights. We'll wait the entrance of the Knights from the far side of the field as they stand down there. On the left side, Union already on the far sideline. Still about 5 minutes on the game clock.
Yeah,
before
they
kickoff.
They may wait on that 5 minutes. I thought maybe since they did the coin toss, they would continue on, but we talked about some games nationally today in the college ranks. We'll keep you up to date on the Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard. UNC in Miami and ACC, Clemson, Boston College, Florida State, North Carolina State, Tennessee and LSU. TCU and Kansas, all of a sudden a big one out in the Midwest. Georgia and Auburn, a big one for Georgia, not so much for the Auburn fans.
And here come the Knights.
Yeah,
Sorry to
Knights
interrupt
come
you there,
to the field. No, that's fine. That's fine.
Sorry to interrupt you. To see one of the Knights coming out there with a pink spray coming off like a little smoke bomb that's pink, and a couple blue ones coming out as well. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as Perry mentioned, and I want to give a shout out to all those people. Perry gave it, and for sure, we know it's a battle and you're not in it alone.
Man, that stuff's the smells are blowing right up into our faces here, the smoke. But I guess it's a good thing he didn't run onto the field with the guy from Seattle to tackle him in an NFL game. I saw where that guy was suing.
He was trying to sue, I think it's Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner put a hit on him for sure. And I went and I kind of listened to that a little bit, and apparently that whole thing was for something, I think it was about goats.
Yeah, it was some animal rights thing. I'm not sure what it was, but no, St. Andrews on the field today. You know, it's breast cancer. It's also parent weekend as well, awareness weekend. Parents have made their way down here, and one of the other things I look at with the small college is the makeup of the roster.
Yep.
Barberville, Kentucky. A lot of players from in Kentucky area, not far from Union. But we've talked about the St. Andrews roster over this season and past, how they have gotten players from North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia. They're not limited to just North Carolina. They've got a lot of players from other states, and sometimes you don't see that in small colleges. Small colleges tend to pick up your best in-state players that are left, and use those. So, you know, I still think this is going to be a great game. This is going to be a game that can determine how these teams react the rest of the season. One that walks out of here with the win. It's going to be, you know.
You know, I think if you're the Knights over here of St. Andrews, you've already seen that the Bulldogs of Union College have lost to Kentucky Christian 42-0. So I think a win today for the Knights makes you feel that much more confident going into the bye week, which is big, but then the confidence level is that much higher when you go back for that Knights Classic. What you won here last year, kept the trophy in Laurinburg, taking it with you to Kentucky, and hopefully you get to bring it back with you and keep it here in Laurinburg. As we are set here for the opening kickoff, Perry Gabriel, James Melink, Mark Plemmons here for you guys in Laurinburg. Back deep to receive for the Knights is going to be McCoy on the far right hash, and then near side you're going to have Garrett. Actually, that's Wilson. It looked like a 37, but it's a 2, and it'll be fielded by McCoy at about the 6. McCoy near side here. Gets across the 30 before being brought down at the 31. McCoy, he's got some big shoes to fill, Perry, after Cook went down last week, injuring a leg, got transported out of here a couple of weeks ago in Laurinburg, and only was on the roster for a couple of days before that one. Had some big plays in there, the transfer from Southern Miss.
Yeah, so we'll see how he reacts to that. Is they're going to be 1st and 10. The ball's going to be spotted at the 31.
The Knights led by senior quarterback and transfer from Tusculum D2 University that's in Tennessee, originally from Michigan, of Andrew Fowler. He'll throw far side here on the first play. I'll get maybe 2 as he throws that over to, that's going to be Crowder with the catch. Bring up a 2nd and 7 here after they pick up 3. Moves the ball up to the 33 now. Put 2 left, 1 right. Fowler got time and set to throw, now a scramble. He'll tuck it and run. He'll make a man miss, get across the 40 or 45, across midfield and spin before being brought down. 2 left, 1 right. Fowler got time and set to throw, now a scramble. He'll tuck it and run. He'll make a man miss, get across the 40 or 45, across midfield and spin before being senior quarterback of Andrew Fowler. But that'll back him up. Flag spotted back at the 27.
And, you know, he's holding a guy that weighs 435.
And you bring that up, Perry, and we were at a game a couple of weeks ago, Mount Pleasant versus Union Academy, and we watched him bring in an offensive lineman where he was 340 pounds, and we just watched him kind of walk right on in there.
Yeah. I don't know, and with all due respect to Lauren, if they don't hold him, I'm not sure he could chase the quarterback down.
Yeah, that would be a big chase. Now we're facing a 2nd and about 17 here, and a flag flies in far side. Should be a false start on St. Andrews there. Fowler throwing that one in the direction of McCoy, going to him early here. McCoy got some size on his defender there. McCoy listed at 6'4", being defended by a guy listed at 5'8", so he's got a good half a foot on his defender there. So that's a false start actually on Union.
Yeah, it's going to be offsides on the defense. So that'll put the ball at the 28.
Make it a 2nd down and about 4 here. 2nd down and 14 here. Trips left, 1 right. McCoy, the man on an island by himself. Fowler gets the snap, gives it to the back who finds the hole up the middle, and he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be number 2 there. Leggett, the one carrying that one. Didn't have him on the roster there at first.
We'll call it 3rd and 9 as the marker is just inside the original line of scrimmage. So we'll call it 3rd and 9.
4 receivers, 2 each way. Leggett lines up to the right of Fowler on this 3rd and 9. Fowler set to throw. Pressure. He gets rid of it, goes far side to Leggett. He'll get the 1st down. He'll get the ball out.
We
got
a late flag thrown in from the side judge on the very, very far side. That may be a face mask.
And that would be a big penalty if it is a face mask. That'll move the ball across midfield all the way up to the 40 of Union. if that is the case. Wait and see what the call is here, but right now it's enough for the first down for the Knights, and that's a good start after getting behind the chains early.
It's going to be blocking the back against St. Andrews.
And that one hurt as they had enough for the first down. They got behind the chains, facing a second about 17, able to battle and get the first down, get the offsides, fight, get it, then get the block in the back. Now they're back behind the chains again, Perry.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about that in the pregame. You know, this field position, they've had 2 plays now where they picked up first downs, and both have been called back on penalties. So right now the penalties making a big difference for St. Andrews on this initial possession of the day. It's going to be 3rd and 6 because it is from the spot, so they did get the yardage prior to that.
12:40 remaining first half. Andrew fakes the handoff and throws, goes to McCoy. He makes the catch. He gets to midfield, keeps fighting as McCoy, and he gets all the way down, but the ball pops out and recovered by the Knights. They're going to say he was down, though, McCoy at the 46.
The pickup of 19 on that play. As you hear the wind, folks, we are on top of the press box underneath a tent, and the wind is whipping pretty good. Even the actual goalposts are actually moving.
1st and 10 from the Union 46. They hand the ball off to Leggett, and he'll lose one on that one. I'll give him the original line of scrimmage, the 46. First time Leggett we've seen him this year. Leggett inactive for our last game here against Reinhardt.
2nd and 10 from the 46. Shotgun formation, snap, Fowler back to pass. He looks his man over here in the flat. He's got him. Going to be taken out of bounds inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line, and that'll pick up about 6 yards on that play. We'll call it 2nd and 3.
Nice job there by Leggett, able to get the first down. Brings up a more manageable 3rd down here for the Knights. Been able to battle so far here, have the Knights. McCoy down here at the bottom. He'll be man on man. There will be a linebacker or safety help over the top as they have 2 safeties, put 2 to the right. Leggett, the running back, fakes the handoff, and Fowler will keep it himself. And nothing happening for Fowler as he's hit at the 39.
Yeah, that was designed quarterback draw, and it went nowhere.
That brings up a 4th down, and you're really in no man's land with this kind of wind here. If you punt it, it might be able to help you out and get it down towards the goal line. But this early in the game with these 2 teams this evenly matched, I think it's the right call here for head coach Robert Curtin to go for it, and he will. Put 2 to the right, 1 to the left. McCoy, the man on an island. No safety help over the top here this time.
3-man rush.
Fowler's got the ball. Plenty of time. Looks towards McCoy. The defender all over him, and there's the flag.
Yeah, that's a good call. He had his hand, and the deep official was able to see that better. The official that was closest to it was kind of watching the ball and watching, it was kind of to his side, didn't really see it, and that's why you saw the other official call it from the backside. So that's going to go a penalty in favor of St. Andrews and move the ball down. Let's see, they're going to be spotted in at the 29-yard line. Oh.
And, yeah, he was all over him. That defender was hanging on him, as you said there, and the official was looking at the ball. Right call from the side judge here. Get the right call, and the Knights get a new set of downs with the ball up to the 29 of Union. And they get Union to jump. No flag, though, tossed in. It was offside. McCoy goes for it, jumps for it, can't get it, and that's going to go incomplete as that was intercepted. Get the right call, and the Knights get a new set of downs with the ball up to the 29 of Union. And they get Union to jump. No flag, though, tossed in. It was offside. McCoy goes for it, jumps for it, can't get it, and that's going to go incomplete. Back just in time.
And the good thing about that pass from Walker there, he laid it in the end zone, and if his guy couldn't catch it, he was going to make sure Union wasn't going to be able to intercept it. It was either catch it for a touchdown or be out of bounds, and Union hauled it down but out of bounds. So Walker will come back 2nd and 10.
There is the snap to Fowler. Fowler set to throw. He'll take off. Go far side. He's got enough for the first down inside the 20. He's still turning his legs and fighting, and he'll get all the way down to the 5. A good run there on the quarterback keeper by the snap to Fowler. Fowler set to throw. He'll take off. Go far side. He's got enough for the first down inside the 20. He's still turning his legs and fighting, and he'll get all the way down to the 5. Big number 34 putting the blocks on there. Don't have him on the sheet here either. But good blocking downfield for the Knights, and they are already inside the Pizza Hut red zone. It's not too late to go to pizzahut.com, get yourself a pizza, breadsticks. And Perry, what's your favorite again?
Cinnamon.
That's right, the cinnamon sticks. Tell them the guys from 485 sent you. Go to pizzahut.com. Fowler gets it and hands it to Leggett. And Leggett will pick up 1 there, get the ball up to the 4.
Carry by number 2.
And so that's going to be 2nd and goal there. Let's call it we'll call it the 4.
So a pick up a 1, brings up a 2nd and goal for the Knights. Fowler gets the snap and hands it to Leggett again, and he'll get down.
No signal yet. Down to about the 1.
Looks like the 1, yep. So hard running right here so far. And something that's always talked about is inside the 20s and in between the 20s. What we're talking about there is when you get inside the red zone and you run from the 20 outside to the other 20, that's the differences. And so far it's been a battle inside the 20, or a battle in the red zone here.
3rd and goal.
Back to Leggett. And the ball popped out, but he broke the plane.
No indication.
There's
the indication there. And St. Andrews is going to take the opening drive and go 69 yards for the score with 8:13 to go in the first quarter. And, one of our keys to the game, the confidence. That's got to build your confidence. And if you're on the defense for St. Andrews now, you got to be thinking, thank you, offense. Let's go and let's do our stuff right now. So we'll go for the extra point here.
And like you just said, the defense. If the defense plays like they did against Reinhardt and that offense keeps clicking like that, I don't think there's going to be any problem for the Knights getting their first win tonight and head coach Robert Curtin getting his first win as a head coach. Yeah. Right now it looks really good for the Knights. As that extra point is good, that makes the score 7-0 here in Laurinburg. The Knights take the opening drive down the field. Perry said 68 yards?
69 yards. 9 plays, 69 yards. And they fought through a little bit of adversity because they had the 2 penalties that wiped out 2 first downs, had the 3rd chance to get the first down, didn't commit the penalty. So they not only were they able to drive it and score, but they fought through the 2 penalties there that they had early in the drive.
Yeah, and that's going to be something like you mentioned at the top of the broadcast. Watch your penalties, and they were able to overcome them on that first drive. It may not happen later on in this game once you get a little bit tired and the offense isn't clicking quite as well. So we have to watch that and see what happens with the penalties on both sides as Union set to receive the ball here for the first time today. Back deep to receive here for the Bulldogs is Robinson, and it looks like a 17 on the far side of the field, which is going to be Owens from Louisville, Kentucky. So Owens left and Robinson to the right. It'll be a short kick and fielded at the 30. Gets him a good block, gets it to midfield, and keeps fighting. And a good return there by Chris Thomas.
That's a good field position for Union, and it's going to go to the 40.
Looks like they'll spot it about the 45, maybe?
Let's see. 47-yard line.
And that one right there kind of shows how much this wind's going to play a factor in it. They kicked into the wind on that one. The ball only made it to the 30. And great field position here to start the opening drive for the Bulldogs. There is the snap. They'll toss it over to the back here. Come near side, and he'll lose a couple of yards.
Penalty flag, that's probably going to be in the form of a holding. You normally get that on the sweep. He looks over to coach and says, you want to decline that, keep it where it is, loss of 3, make it 1st and 20 or 2nd and 13.
Taj Jackson, the ball carrier, freshman.
Let's see what he does.
Nicholasville, Kentucky.
Yeah, 2nd and 13.
And that's the right call there by head coach Robert Curtin. Get him behind the chains. 3 yards. You only got 2 more added to it. Would have gave him, another set of downs. Instead, they decline the penalty, makes it a 2nd and 13. Jake Meters, the junior quarterback from Snailsville, Georgia, leading the offense in there. There's the snap. Gives it to the back again up the middle, and he runs right into a wall of Knights for another loss of 1. Jackson again, the ball carrier. So far, this defense, Perry, stepping up big. 2 runs, 4 yards lost.
Yeah, and I've even noticed just after that first score, the attitude on the sideline is even different for St. Andrews. They're pumping up the crowd here.
Austin Hunt in there on the tackle. So was Darian Joyner and Rashawn Golson all in there. There is a snap to Meters. Meters set to throw. He dumps it off to Jackson.
Yeah, we got a penalty flag, and that's either going to be, again, thrown by the back, not the back judge, the line judge. I'm thinking it's going to be holding again, maybe an ineligible man downfield.
And again, another yard lost here for Union as they're heading the wrong direction, and they're going to decline this penalty, and that is going to go against Union.
Yeah. See what the official call is. It's going to be holding against Union. So they're going to spot the ball at the 50. They're going to decline it, force the 4th down and punting. Now they will have the wind.
48.
48-yard lines where they'll mark it.
Because they were at the 49. They lost another yard. That moves the ball back up to the 48. So 0 positive yards on that drive. Actually, they lost about 5.
They lost 7 total.
Punting unit heading out. Wind blowing from left to right currently, so the wind would be helping the punter drive the ball down the field here. Back deep for the Knights is Monty Williams. Able to get away a good punt that's high in the air. Signal for a fair catch. They'll let it bounce, take a bounce for Union. Inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line.
So 6:42 to go first quarter. St. Andrews on top, 7-0. Scoring on their first drive. Union goes 3 and out, losing actually 7 yards total before they're forced to punt. And St. Andrews gets the ball for the 2nd time. A little deeper in their territory this time, but we'll see what they can do with it.
And that right there, that defense had to feel like they had to go do their part. After the offense just went out there on the opening drive and they scored, now the defense goes out there, forces them to a -7 and gets the ball right back for the offense. So a good job on both sides of the ball here early for the Knights. Fowler throws here near side to McCoy, and he'll pick up 1, get the ball out to the 9.
And you see that a lot of times at all levels, high school, college, pro, when one offense or defense does their job and the other one doesn't, especially when your teams are losing, it just creates a little bit of animosity between those units, and sometimes you'll see them arguing on the sideline. 2nd and 9, we'll call it.
Ball spotted at the 9 on the left hash. Fowler gets it, fakes the handoff, looks deep, goes to McCoy. That one underthrown by about 3 yards there. Good route by McCoy. He had his man beat.
May have gone a little further down the field than Walker had intended him to be. 3rd and 9. A substitution change for St. Andrews.
Bringing in some new fresh bodies. I'll keep McCoy down here with safety help over the top. He's got about 6 inches on his defender there. McCoy listed at 6'6", his defender listed at 5'8". Fowler set to throw. Looks towards McCoy again. Wobbly throw, and they'll throw that one in to his sideline. It's going to bring up a third down here. Or
that'd be fourth down.
Yeah. Sorry, fourth down here for the Knights.
So St. Andrews will be forced to punt it away.
And right now would be a great time to punt. There is no wind right now. So hopefully the Knights can get this off before the wind picks back up. Flag laying still over at the far side of the field. No movement on it. So if they can get this one off, we know interference from the wind. There is the snap. He's able to get it away. A line drive that will be fielded at the 42. And he'll be drugged down back at the 45. Good job there by the special teams unit. Owens, the return man, and the tackle made by Tedrick Spicer, the sophomore defensive back from Emory University.
And let's see, we've got another penalty flag here. Yeah. That's yeah. So we've had a couple of those called, one against each team right now.
And that's tough because you had great field position, and now it's gone. That moves the ball, should move the ball all the way back to about the 47 of their own yard line. See where they're going to spot it, actually, and that's where they do put it, the 47. There's the snap. Give it to the back of Johnson. He fights up the middle to the 49.
Pickup of about 5 on that play.
Carried by Andre Johnson, tackled by number 99, DeJuan Joyner.
DeJuan Joyner there on the tackle. Meters, a junior from Morningside College, transfer in. Fakes the handoff to Jackson. Plenty of time and throws. Finds his man across the middle of the field with a big catch down at the 30 as he finds Josh Smith. College transfer in. Fakes the handoff to Jackson. Plenty of time and throws. Finds his man across the middle of the field with a big catch down at the 30 as he finds Josh sophomore from Decatur, Alabama, is Norman. And that's enough for the first down and moves the ball all the way up to the 32 of the Knights. Meters gives the ball off to Johnson, who goes far side.
Pick up a baby 2.
He'll get the ball up to the 30. 4:20 remaining here, first quarter.
And we've got an injured player on the far side, so we'll take a Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard break here while we tend to the injured player for Union. Michigan, Indiana all tied at 10. That's about midway through the second quarter. Tennessee's up on LSU 20-0. 5:03 to go in the second. And TCU and Kansas. TCU leads the Jayhawks 10-3 at halftime. Mississippi State 21, Arkansas 3, Florida 10, Missouri 7. That one's approaching halftime. Texas 21, Oklahoma 0. Oklahoma Sooners taking it on the chin here for the second week in a row, but still plenty of time left in that one. Purdue over Maryland 17-10. Louisville and Virginia all knotted up at 10 each midway through the second quarter. Later today you got Auburn and Georgia, Utah, UCLA, North Carolina and Miami, Clemson, Boston College, all later on today on the Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard here on 485 Sports. So the injured player has left the field, and the referees have got the teams back out. And it's going to be second and about 8 for Union when play resumes on a beautiful day in Laurinburg.
And real quick, I'll just jump in there and say, let's go Hoosiers. Set to throw his meters, and he'll go back to Johnson. He'll make the catch right back at the 30. So he'll pick up a nothing on that play. It's going to bring up a third down. That should be a third down for the Bulldogs now. 3rd down and 7. Needing the 18 for the first.
See if the Knights can get a stop.
And the wind picked up right there. A big gust of wind blows by. Meters set to throw. Throws on the run. Goes in the vicinity there of Robinson again.
That is complete for the first down.
And a good job there on that play drawn up from the far side of the field. Gets him to the sticks, turns, hits him on the out route, and enough for the first down for the Bulldogs. Moves the chains, and they are now inside the Pizza Hut red zone with the ball spotted at the 18.
It was a pickup of 12. Coming up on 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
3 receivers, 2 left, 1 right. Meters fakes the handoff and goes left side. Throws it to Johnson. And he'll get down to the 15. And that was a hard-fought pickup of 3 yards there by Johnson. That wasn't easy.
No, not at all. Inside the Pizza Hut red zone.
2:40 first quarter. Knights lead 7-0 here in the Appalachian Athletic Conference matchup. The Knights 0-2 in conference. First conference matchup for the Union College Bulldogs. Both teams trying to get their first win of the season. 2 right, 1 left. Meters throws, finds his man across the middle of the field. Streaking in there for the touchdown is Chris Thomas. Both teams trying to get their first win of the season. 2 right, 1 left. Meters throws, finds his man across the middle of the field. Streaking in there for the... Yeah, no help over top from the safety, and he beat his man. And just basically, we'll use a baseball reference because we're at baseball time, just pitch and catch is all that was.
So 2:16 to go.
Score 7-6, pending the extra point here for Union.
They may have to run and get this ball with the way that wind's blowing. I was going to say it may end up.
It could have blew all the way to the trees, but doesn't quite go to the trees. It goes a good distance to the trees, and that'll even it up at 7. 2:16 left, first quarter. Score 7-7. The Knights set to receive the kickoff here.
Yeah, some of our 485 sports and football broadcast sponsors includes Ben Minot Chevrolet out of Concord, benminot.com. You can shop, click, and drive. It's that easy, folks. benminot.com. Cannon Pharmacy, proud sponsor of our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard. Wilkerson Funeral Home, Pizza Hut, and the Cabarrus County's best newspaper, independenttribune.com, for all the sports action, college, high school. Go to the independenttribune.com. Don't forget the Carolina Renaissance Festival is underway there near our hometown, and great event, great festival taking place there off Highway 73 in Poplar Tent community. You can go to renfestinfo.com for more information, as some things have changed from the previous years due to COVID. That's renfestinfo.com for more information.
And my girlfriend's favorite, the Southern Christmas Show. Don't forget to mark your calendars for that one, November 10th through the 20th. And that one's going to be fielded there in the middle of the field. Get it out to the 30. Is going to be Williams, the freshman from Waynesboro, Georgia. He'll get that one out to the 30-yard line for the Knights.
Correction, number 37, Williams.
Yeah, my girlfriend's already told me, mark your calendar because we are going to the Southern Christmas Show. So I know I'll be there. Hopefully I run into somebody there and you guys say, hey, I love listening to you guys. Take over from their own 30 here after the return there. Fowler gets it, looks far side. He does throw it quickly to the far side. Be a pickup of a couple. as he finds his target there of Crowder. Crowder, a Virginia native from Prince Edward, Virginia. Bring up a 2nd and 8 here. 2 left, 1 to the right. Moves a man in motion. Fowler being chased. He'll dump it off into the flat. Flag flies in. And they'll get back to the line of scrimmage as he dumped that one off over to Antonius Carpenter, freshman running back from Charlotte. West Charlotte there. You know, they refer to him as Ant, is what they refer to him as. And the reason I know that is because he's been on the broadcast with us a couple times. Ant Carpenter has. And one of Jay's guys, Jay Alverson, who's part of our crew, helped him get in here at St. Andrews. So good to see Ant out there on the field.
We have a discussion on the far side by the officials. And cuts the mic on, now cuts it off. Wants to double check with the official again.
And Ant, only a freshman, already getting playing time here at St. Andrews. 5'10", 180.
They continue to discuss. I don't know, it's not so much the call more than the spot and where the ball is going to be if they decline it or take it, depending on.
And the head coach over there, John Luttrell, talking to him.
He's throwing in his 2 cents worth now. If he stands too close to the yard markers over there, we'll get him confused that they both have on the bright orange fluorescent.
Shot block. Offense number 61 and 62.
Got them both.
From the previous spot. Repeat, 2nd down.
61 and 62. They got for the chop blocks there. They're going to get Melvin Farmer, their 2nd, and Nicholas Hedrick, both of them juniors.
Someone engaged up high and someone took him out below. You can't do that.
That'll back the ball all the way up to the
16-yard line.
Needing the 41 for a first. 2nd down. Fowler gets the snap. Comes near side with it. Fighting for every piece of yard he can get there is Crowder. He'll get the ball out to the 23.
That's by number 87, Dante Crowder.
Pickup of 7.
And a couple substitution as Crowder comes out. New receiver coming in is going to be Cam Lakey, the freshman from Taylorsville, North Carolina. He'll come in. He'll go into the slot, far side of the field.
It's probably an Alexander Central product.
Let's check and see there. And you're correct. As they hand that one off to Ant Carpenter, and he'll take off running with it. Looks like maybe a face mask got grabbed, but got away with it. Way his head moved, but he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage here. And the punt unit will head out.
So after that initial drive of 9 plays, 69 yards for the touchdown, St. Andrews has gone 3 and out. 6 plays, a total of 1 yard offense once you add in the penalties and everything. So that Union defense has made its stop, and they're going to get the ball back at decent field position as St. Andrews is going to be forced to punt into the wind. But that's going to end the first quarter with the score tied at 7-7. St. Andrews and Union Bulldogs from Laurinburg, North Carolina. NAIA football, James Melink, Gabriel, Mark Plemmons alongside here on our broadcast booth today.
A quick first quarter.
Yeah, when you run the ball, I mean, even with the penalties, the quarter did go.
33 minutes is what I'm seeing there for that quarter.
Pretty fast.
They only put 15 minutes on the clock, and after you have the scores and a few incompletes and change of possessions and all that, that's a quick half. Only basically doubling up the time, and in football, if you can play a quarter of football, it's 15 and 30. That's a quick half. The Knights set to punt here.
St. Andrews runs 15 plays, 70 total yards at half. Union, on the other hand, 8 plays, 46 yards. And like we expected, tight ball game. 2 teams evenly matched.
I can almost bet you, I know that Robert Curtin's trying to get his first win as a head coach here, and John Luttrell trying to get his first one of the season. I can almost bet you one of those coaches will get a Gatorade bath today. Because it's the first one of the season. They're going to have to give him the bath. One of them will. Now that's a good job there by the Knights. And now they got the back against their wind, so they'll be kicking with the wind here. That one's a high punt in the air, carrying a long ways, but goes out of bounds. We'll see where the spot is from the official. Still walking up. He's up to the 35.
Yeah, I'm watching
now
the lead official as he's watching his hand. There we go.
And he stops him right there at the 44.
So if the ball goes out of bounds on the ground, it's the official who is covering the ball. It's his responsibility to mark it where the ball goes out of the ground. You know it. You saw it. If it's in the air, then the white hat who is behind the kicker will stand and with his hand up, and the official will walk up the field, and at an angle, when the official sees where the ball went out of bounds, he'll drop his hand, and that signals for the official on the side to stop walking, and that's where the ball will go into play. And call it the 44-yard line.
Meters gets the snap and hands it to Johnson. Johnson runs into a pile, pushes them forward a little bit, and gets the ball out to the 47. And that was all up front by that offensive line of Union. They got the push up front, and he was able to get a couple. He's up a 2nd down and 8 here for the Bulldogs. Put 2 right, 1 left here. Johnson in the backfield is the back.
Union has the size advantage on the line. Pressure coming.
Meters takes a shot and slings one out, but he took a lick as he released that ball. Big number 52 in there with the hit. That's going to be Jalen McFadden. Called his name last year here, one of the leaders of the defense. The senior from Chester, South Carolina, Louisville High School.
You know, what's funny about these names when you say, you know, sophomore, freshman, junior from whatever town, high school, is I know where all those places are, which is amazing to me sometimes that I know 80% of them.
Meter set to throw, dumps it off into the flat. And a big defensive play there by the Knights. That's going to be number 40.
Which is amazing to me sometimes that I know 80% of them.
Meter set to throw, dumps it off into the flat. And a big defensive play there by Jocelyn James. And one of the leaders of the defense, Austin Hunt, in there to make the stop. Hunt stepped up as one of the leaders after they lost their leader last year in Austin. It's Austin. I forgot his first name now, but it was Austin. I remember that. They lost him last year to graduation, and Austin Hunt so far stepped up this year. Andrew Austin was the name. I just thought of it. There's a line drive punt. It'll die dead at the 23. But yeah, Austin Hunt stepping up big for Andrew Austin, who graduated, played that linebacker position last year for the Knights. Now you're hearing Austin Hunt. Let's see what the Knights can do on defense, or on offense now after they got the stop. Still a tie ball game with 13-14 remaining, 2nd quarter. 7-7 the score. We want to remind you that at halftime we have the Ben Minnick Shop Click and Drive halftime show, where we'll have updates on our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard, talk about some of the national games going on at the D1 level, have stats from the game here, and some headlines with playoff baseball. As they run that one up the middle with Leggett, he gets the ball out to the 27.
Yeah, this is that time of the year where if I was at home, I can move one of my TVs to where I can watch. I've got a split screen in my living room, so I can watch 2 events at one time, move another TV, and I could sit there and I could watch 3 different events. When you've got baseball, college football, and everything going on, let me get the snap here.
Leggett carry, turns it upfield. And a good piece of running there by Leggett as he gets the ball across the 35 down to the 38-yard line. That's enough for the first down for the Knights. And you mentioned that, and if you're in the Charlotte area and you want to go do something, you can head into the Charlotte Roval. Got the Roval this weekend in Charlotte.
You know, but yeah, it's just that time of year, man, where if somebody says, what are you doing this weekend? I'm staying home. For what? Hey, you got playoff baseball, you got college football, you got racing, you've got a little bit of everything going on.
You do have a lot of sports, and you even got some of the basketball stuff going on. We saw at the Dean Dome last night, a big thing going on for the Tar Heels, so a lot of it going on late night at the Dean Dome. That's going to be a false start there on the Knights.
Back it up to the 33.
They're going to call that penalty there on Isaiah Lee. Tough to read there when the wind's catching your paper, trying to flip it all over on you.
It is.
It about flipped it out of my hand, and I almost didn't get to see it. Trips left, one right after the penalty makes it a 1st and 15 here for the Knights. Ball back at the 32. Fowler thought about throwing, but tucked it down, and he'll take the hit as he runs into a Bulldog there waiting on him. One waiting on him there was Devon Moore. 2 number 5s there. Had to make sure I said the right one. They got 2 of them. They got one that plays receiver and one that plays defense.
Yeah, in college, you'll see a lot of colleges with walk-ons and everything. They'll have in upwards of 90-plus players sometimes, and sometimes the double numbers are because of that. But sometimes it's just some numbers people just don't want.
Backs the ball up to the 28 here. Fowler set to throw, looks deep, goes far side, makes the catch, makes a man miss, turns it upfield. Being brought down from behind, and a first down there by Devin Roach.
People just don't want.
Backs the ball up to the 28 here. Fowler set to throw, looks deep, goes far side, makes the catch, makes a man miss, turns it upfield. Being brought down from behind.
Receiver that much, he better be quick to recover when he allows the catch, and he just went up and almost went up too fast to the receiver. The receiver able to get by to him, puts the ball down to the 47-yard line, pickup of 23.
And a good piece of catching and running after the catch, Devin Roach, as Fowler just throws an interception. He threw that right into the arms of the defensive man who jumped up. It's going to be number 7 who went up there and got it. He went to throw it out into the flat, and Zion McCray was right there. The senior defensive lineman, 6'2", 260 from Knoxville, Tennessee, jumps right up and snags that one out of the air.
So a big turnover for Union as they're going to stop that drive and get the ball on the 47-yard line of St. Andrews.
And I looked down here and I saw Fowler take his helmet off. He didn't slam it, but he put it in his hands, and you saw the frustration as he was shaking it in anger, frustrated with himself with that throw. But now it's time for the defense to step up here for the Knights, in good field position for Union with the ball at the 48. Hand it to Johnson, and he'll pick up 1. And so far the defense for the Knights has been strong throughout this game, and see if they can step up here after the turnover, because now the advantage, or you can say the momentum, has possibly shifted over to Union after that interception.
Yeah, and other than that initial, or not the initial drive, but the second drive for Union where they scored a touchdown, they've had 3 and outs both times. So we'll see what the Knights can do here.
2nd and 9. Meter set to throw. Sets his feet, and that one's into the Knights bench. As actually that was Northfleet.
Yeah, they switched quarterbacks a couple of times in their games this season.
That can get tricky with one of them wearing number 1 and one of them wearing 11.
Yeah, as long as you see a 1 out there, you know it's one of the two.
You'll see one of them for sure. Northfleet, a junior quarterback from Louisville, Kentucky. The shorter of the 2 quarterbacks, meter 6'6", Northfleet only 5'11".
$9:56 to go, second quarter.
Northfleet dumps it off into the flat. That's going to be a loss, and back to the 50. He dumped that one off over to Norman, and the tackle made there by a gang of Knights, about 4 of them around there. 97, 58. So they're going to credit the tackle to number 50 of the Knights. See who that is there. Just lost my paper. I'll get it for you guys in a second after this punt. As that one will take a bounce and be covered up by Williams at the 25.
Yeah, the way that wind is blowing that ball at the top, coming down, these defenders, if they aren't going to catch it, they need to get away from it because it's going to bounce into one of them and hit them, and then it's going to be a free-for-all as to who gets that ball. But St. Andrews is going to take over after the punt, and then the ball is going to be spotted at the 20-yard line.
Back to who that was that made the tackle. That was Merriweather who made the tackle on that one. Our producer, Mark, able to help me out on that one as the paper flew out of my hand here trying to catch the number 50 number. A little windy up here, so paper's flying around. 1st and 10 here, trips right, 1 left. Hand it off to Leggett. He'll pick up 2.
The 485 budget doesn't call for a lot of technical equipment where we have computer screens and people punching and dialing numbers up for us.
No, we do it all ourselves here. Perry keeps stats, does the color part of it. I try to hold the rosters in my hand and read it. Mark over here working cameras, producing all at the same time. So a small crew, but we all love what we do here at 485 Sports. As Fowler set to throw, looks deep and overthrows who he's trying to get to, Devin Roach. And with us saying that, we've got a quick second. We might as well let people know if you're listening and you want to give it a shot, trying to broadcast, if you want to be on air, try that out. You want to run a camera, produce, something like that, please contact us. We'd love to have you come help us, teach you, help you out.
Just want to bring us some Pizza Hut pizza while we broadcasting. We'll take that too.
We'll take that as well. You can find us at 485 Sports on Facebook, Twitter. Shoot us a message. We'd love to have you join the crew. It's a good time. 4 receivers, 2 each way here as Fowler set to throw here on 3rd down. Throws, and that one's in and out of the hands of Roach.
So quick 3 and out for St. Andrews.
And it looks like the offense has kind of cooled off here for the Knights.
Actually, for both teams.
That first drive, they really moved the ball, and that one would have been right there at the marker if Roach would have caught it. Been very close. Back deep to receive here is going to be Owens.
They've been close a couple times getting to the punter.
And Owens has to retreat on this one back to the 39. He'll receive it and go down at the 40. He'll get a yard. Actually, they're going to, they'll spot him at the 40. He gets a yard after that one. And that's where the Bulldogs will take over.
8:24 to go here in the second quarter.
A good battle here in Laurinburg.
I tell you, I stopped and got some tomatoes on the way home at the produce stand.
Yeah. Amazing.
Man, my girlfriend and her mother were, when are you going back? I said, I'm actually going back this week.
And they said, good, pick up some more of them tomatoes.
So, Mark, we got to leave the back seat open for some tomatoes on the way home.
That stand over there has some of the freshest vegetables I've had in a long time as they bring the blitz here off the edge, set to throw his meters, and he's got a man wide open at the 30 and shoved out of bounds up at about the 26, 27. See where the official spot is. Receiver there was Johnson.
Yeah, and that
or Robinson,
31. It's a 29-yard pickup.
So they'll spot him at the 26. Robinson, the one actually with the reception there. And a good piece of catching and throwing there by the offense on a big chunk play there. The biggest play of the day so far for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10, ball at the Knights 26. Meters throws far side looking, got a guy man on man and overthrows him. Trying to go to Norman. He had a man on man out there. They were running stride for stride. His defender was right there with him. The defender is going to be Trendrick Spicer, the sophomore. He's running stride for stride with him. And he had no safety help over the top either.
Well, it should be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it should be 2nd and 10.
Okay,
I don't think they're running the clock over the down marker today. Carry up the middle. I'll pick up a couple. As Johnson was the ball carrier there.
Stoppage of play here. There's a penalty flag, and referees are going to come and discuss it.
Johnson, a sophomore from Greenville, South Carolina. We wait the official word.
That's sportsmanlike conduct.
Oh. So they're going to hit Owens and Mizell.
Yeah. And the last thing the official said there is important, because a lot of people say, well, if you call one against this team, call one, why call them? Because it doesn't do anything if it happens after play. Well, they do call it because you heard the official say that's their first one. If they get a second one, then they're no longer in the contest.
James Mizell, a freshman from Norfolk State. Line up for 3rd down and 8 here. Ball at the 24. Meter set to throw. Pressure gets to him. He flings one up in the air. That one's going to be caught, but out of bounds by Johnson. And Meters took a shot as the big number 99 there for the Knights came in off the right edge and laid a hit on him. DeJuan Joyner. It's going to bring up 4th down and 8 with the ball at the 24, and it looks like the Bulldogs are going to keep the offense out there, Perry.
Yeah, I agree with this completely.
If it was late in the game, you might take a shot for a field goal, but before halftime, I think it's the right call to leave the offense out there. I'll agree with you, Perry, on that one. 7:22 here in the first half. They'll line up 2 to the right, 1 to the left, and a timeout called here on the field by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, so timeout Union, 7-7, 7:22 to go here. First half action. We've had a decent ball game. We've talked about this. Our keys were field position. We've had each team deep in the territory. We've had turnovers, which each team needed to eliminate. Right now they've scored. Just because we're on the St. Andrews side, we hear the confidence level on the sideline for St. Andrews as when they scored that touchdown and went up 7-0. So right now, a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on. We've got turnovers on both sides. Both teams, like you said, have been back deep in their territory. Both teams have started in good field position. Right now, actually, they've changed their mind. They're going to line up for the field goal here, Perry. They're going to be kicking a 41-yard field goal attempt here. Are the Bulldogs out there to kick for the Bulldogs, big number 98. It's going to be Justin Spear. The kick is up, and it's going to be just short. It had the angle of it, just not enough leg, and that'll fall short. The 41-yard field goal attempt, no good. So a turnover on downs. The Knights defense able to stop them here. Just not quite enough leg by the kicker there of Justin Spear, the junior from Jupiter, Florida. He also is a transfer from Tusculum University, just like the starting quarterback who's heading out there for the Knights of Andrew Fowler. Fowler. And the offense has 7:17 here left in the first half. Leggett with the carry, and he'll pick up 5 there. Good piece of running by Leggett on first down. And that one started up front there, Perry, with the offensive line. They pushed that defensive line backwards, and they were able to get and make that run easier for Leggett.
Yeah, so it's what, 2nd and 5 now.
After the first down run. 2 left, 1 right. McCoy, the man down here at the bottom. Safety help over the top. He does have it. Fowler looks towards McCoy, instead decides to dump it off short. Dumps that one off. Down towards the bottom, finds his tight end there.
I'm surprised at that play call was second short. I thought they might go for something a little longer.
Tedrick Walker, the tight end from Ocala, Florida. 6'2", 245 with the catch. First time we've called his game today. And that is a big man up front for the Bulldogs. Split the receivers to each side here for Fowler. They bring the corner blitz. Picked up. Throws that one over to Roach, and his knees down.
Yeah, he got enough for the first down. That's what he did. Just get the first down, move the chains, keep it going.
And they brought the corner blitz off the right side, but it was picked up on that far side. So a good job by the offensive line to pick up that corner blitz. And then Roach able to bring that one in. We saw Roach today have one that was going to be close for a first down. Couldn't hold that one in. This time he brings it in.
Pickup of 11.
Split the receivers again, 2 left, 2 right. Leggett, and there is the back in the backfield. Give it to Leggett. He makes a cut near side. Still on his feet across the 50. Now streaking down the right sideline. And a good run by Leggett. Give it to Leggett. He makes a cut near side. Still on his feet across the 50. Now streaking down the right sideline.
So great job there. They moved the ball down to they're going to spot that one at the 26-yard line.
And a good job by Leggett.
28-yard pickup.
A senior from Fairbluff, North Carolina, South Columbus High School.
Yeah, not far from here.
And we have an injured player down there.
So
we'll
update the Canton Pharmacy scoreboard here for you. Top 25 action: Michigan, Indiana, tied at halftime. Tennessee up on LSU 23-7.
Ooh.
TCU and Kansas tied 10-10. How about the Jayhawks? I think ESPN was there this week.
ESPN College Game Day was
Mississippi State 21-10 over Arkansas. That's it as far as top 10 action that's taking place at games that have already started. Nationally, Michigan, let's see, you still got Texas 28, Oklahoma 0.
The battle of the Red River rivalry there. That game there, I was thinking, that was one of them games I would not be betting on because you don't really know what you're going to get. They're either Oklahoma's going to come in there and light the scoreboard up or they were going to lay an egg. In Texas, they weren't sure who the quarterback was going to be. They were trying to figure out if it was going to be Quinn Ewers or who.
Appalachian State going to try to make it 2-0 against teams from Texas. They battle Texas State tonight.
That one I'm putting money in on. Take App State to cover that one. 2 left, 1 right. McCoy, the man down here by himself on an island. Fakes the handoff. Instead, gives it to Carpenter. And he'll get the ball to the 25 for a pickup of 1.
Scoreboard brought to you by Canton Pharmacy.
Our halftime show coming up here in about 4 minutes of gameplay. Proud sponsor of our halftime show was Ben Minot, Shop, Click, and Drive. You can even arrange financing and have the car delivered at benminot.com. Proud sponsor of the 485 halftime show. Fakes the handoff to Ant. Fowler will keep it himself. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage.
Was there a fumble?
Well, the Bulldogs came out with the ball there. And that's not good. That looks like that's Fowler down. And that's the starting quarterback for St. Andrews, and he's down on the ground in pain. That's not a good look.
Yeah, so we'll take another break here as you're listening to 485 Sports here from St. Andrews Laurinburg University as we have an injury on the field. And we have
He's up. He's up and able to walk off under his own power, but he will have to come out. Happy to see Andrew Fowler get up. He is the heart and soul of this team. He's the senior quarterback, started here this is his 3rd year starting for the Knights. Split reps last year with the quarterback, but this year got all of the reps so far, and they are young at the quarterback position. The next guy to step in is going to be number 11, Marshall Chambers, a freshman quarterback, 5'11", 170 from Hazelbridge, Georgia. So let's see if they decide to let him release it here on first down, if they stay conservative and hand it off to Carpenter, who's going to line up to the right of him. It decide to give it to Carpenter, who goes far side. He turns it upfield, but he takes a shot right back at the line of scrimmage there. Good defensive stop on the far side of the field there by Josh Smith. Josh Smith, where do you think he's from?
Let's say Charlotte.
He's Shelby, North Carolina kid from Shelby High School.
Shelby High School, the Golden Lions.
Makes the tackle for the Bulldogs.
2A powerhouse.
Yes, they are. And they are going to have their hands full this year, I think, with Robinson. I called a game for Robinson last night, and that game at Mount Pleasant to end the season.
It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one, and I hope we are at Mount Pleasant for that game, because whoever wins that one's going to have great seating, and they're going to have a shot to play against some power schools. As Chambers is set to run, he tucks it down. He'll dump it off into the flat to Ant. Carpenter, he hurdles a man and takes a shot inside the 10. But a good job there. Look at this one here, Perry.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he got how close he got to the line of scrimmage. He faked me out because I was moving the camera on that one.
And Ant Carpenter took a shot as he jumped over that man. And a good job there by the quarterback of Chambers making something happen.
Yeah, pick up of 18 on that play.
He didn't panic. He kind of just went into ad-lib mode, stayed calm as a young quarterback, dumped it off into the man in the flat, and he let Carpenter do the rest. And puts the ball inside the 10, so inside the Pizza Hut red zone with 2 minutes left. And the ball's on the ground. And back on top of it, it looks like are the Knights. I couldn't tell who jumped on it. But it is the Knights who are on it. That might be Carpenter who was able to get back to it. Let's see who comes out of the pile with it.
And St. Andrews avoided a big turnover there.
And that was Carpenter who was able to come out, but we have an injured Bulldog down. And, yeah, that was dangerous, as you just said. That one was almost a turnover inside the Pizza Hut red zone. We have an injured Bulldog down with 1:48, score 7-7. And the Knights threatening to score here. And, you know, this here feels like a must score, if you ask me. And the reason I say that is you want to take the lead into halftime, for one. And two, if you come out, you have to kick the ball off to Union to start the second half. So if Union goes and scores, it's only a tie ball game, you're not trailing. So this one here feels like a must score, if you ask me, for the Knights.
That is true. And to have it this deep in the territory, you know, they've been able to move the ball on this possession, something they haven't been able to do on the last 4. And so right now you've got a couple timeouts left, but you want to use as much as this 1:48 on the clock. You want to score, and you want to, you know, second and goal from about the 13-yard line.
Second and goal here, Carpenter.
Fowler's back in.
Fowler in, Carpenter in at the back, goes from right to left. Roach, the man down here at the bottom. He's going to try to float one to Roach, and he goes up and gets it, but incomplete.
Yeah, it's going to be out of bounds.
He tried to get that right foot down. It just hit out of bounds. It'll be marked as incomplete, but a nice acrobatic jumping catch for it was Roach. And Roach has stepped up a lot since the injury of Cook. We called his name a few times last time we were here, but he has really stepped up into that role, him and McCoy, since the injury to Cook.
The wind continues to whip here.
Yeah, now blowing from left to right here on the field at the back of the Knights. So maybe the wind kind of pushing that one there when Fowler tossed it up. Gives it off to Carpenter. Carpenter comes near side, finds a hole. He'll get it down to the 4. As you look here at Carpenter, he had a hole there, Perry. Just one man standing there waiting on him on the defensive side. Able to make the stop is Josh Smith.
So it looks like they're going to go for the field goal. .117 to go.
And they got the kicker out there of Cameron
Ball's going to be
spotted
at the 10, so it'll be a 20-yard attempt. There's the snap, there's the spot, there's the kick, and it is good.
McPatter hits it, the freshman kicker from Lumberton, North Carolina, Fremont High School. Buries it and gives the Knights the lead That makes the score 10-7 with 1:13 here left in the first half as the Knights have the lead. We're about a minute away from the Ben Minot Shop Click and Drive halftime show, so make sure you guys hang out with us. Perry will have all the stats added up for you. We'll let you know our stats are unofficial here. Perry does a great job at it, but they all are unofficial. We don't have the official stat sheet here. We'll try to get one for you guys and give those to you. We'll also have some updates.
So 8 plays, 80 yards after the missed field goal. St. Andrews takes advantage of that missed field goal to drive the length of the field, put it in for a field goal, and the 10-7 lead here. Union will have about a minute or so left after this kickoff to see if they can, sometimes you think, well, let's just take 3 knees and get out of here and go to halftime, but you got to think, well, we've got a couple timeouts left. We've got, depending on the field position, we get the ball to start the second half. Let's get this 2-for-1 deal and see what they can do. So we'll see what they do once the kickoff goes that way.
And now you see the energy starting to pick up here on the Knights sideline again. As you see them here, the offense sitting on the bench, the energy's picked back up after that. So great job by the offense, able to go down the field and punch that one up. And it's great to see Andrew Fowler up and walking around too after he was injured there and get back in. So great to see the senior back out there for the offenses. We're set to kick this one off from left to right, wind blowing against the back, and it'll be a short one.
Short kick.
Fielded at the 38, and he took a shot after he caught it. Owen's the one who got it.
And we're going to get an offsides, I think, on the far side. Yeah, in the middle. The guy was offsides in the middle. But now they can decline that. I think they decline it and take the ball. If I'm a coach and I got the ball at the 40-yard line with about a minute to go, I'm happy. I'm thinking, hey, I've got 60 yards to go. I don't want to take a chance of something else.
Kyle's the one who put the hit on him there. The freshman from Florence, South Carolina. And they're just going to move the ball 5 yards forward from the 40. That'll move the ball up to the 45.
James, you work in the NASCAR field. Is this what the wind tunnel sounds like?
Yeah, pretty much. It's what it feels like is the wind now. Now, this is what I see here. It's going to be tough for the Bulldogs to throw the ball. They're working from right to left. The wind's blowing from left to right. So you're throwing it into the wind, and you got to go 55 yards to pay dirt. And you only have a minute 11 to do it as the wind, after as I say that, dies down. They put trips right, 1 left. Meters in there at quarterback. Set to throw. He does throw. It takes a hit as he released it. And the Knights were in there with pressure.
And he's hurt.
As he took a lick there.
He's going to have to go out. His helmet came off.
Jalen McFadden came right up the middle and laid the hammer down to Meters. That's going to bring back in the other quarterback there for Union.
Northfleet.
Going to bring Northfleet in.
Second and 10. 1:06 to go.
Jackson in there at the running back position still. Northfleet, only 5'11". Can't even see his helmet when he gets inside the huddle over top of his offensive lineman. Second 10 here with the ball at the 45. Man in motion. Gives it to the man who he sends in motion, goes far side. And he runs into a host of Knights on the far side of the field. First one there to meet him was going to be Irvin.
Now, I'm surprised St. Andrews doesn't call a timeout. 3rd and 10. Make them punt into this wind, go for a block, get a nice return. Now there's a timeout, but it's going to be called by the referee did not indicate.
Union second timeout.
Union calls their second timeout. So 10-7, 44 seconds to go here from Laurinburg, St. Andrews University.
As Robinson was the carrier on that last play, he was able to get back to the 45, the original line of scrimmage. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10, Perry. Yeah. And they've ran the ball, and they haven't went anywhere. This defense for the Knights has stood up strong, and that's something I've noticed. When they're tackling today, there's not just one of them there. There's 3 and 4 Knights to make the tackle.
And that just goes back to, I think, what we talked about earlier, as, a little bit more pep in your step, a little bit more get up and go, a little bit more energy, because they know these two teams are comparable, and it's a chance that they've got today to win this ball game. And right now, both teams have done an excellent job in showing that.
3rd down and 10 here with the ball at the Bulldogs 45. 2 left, 1 right. Northfleet set to throw. Pressure gets to him, and he dumps it off into the flat. Makes a man miss, and he'll pick up 1. He dumped that one off over to Marshall Minton, the junior halfback.
Yeah, they call a final timeout, and I'm not sure about that. It's 4th down.
Yeah.
I think you run one more play, and, but stopping this clock right now.
That favors for the Knights.
That favors St. Andrews, because if they decide to kick it and they get a nice return back, then they've got 3 plays to take a shot at the infield with the wind at their back.
Yeah, and you can float the ball. We've seen the arm of Andrew Fowler. Got a lot of strength in that arm. And don't even count out the running game. They could even run the ball and go that far. We've seen them do that in the past as well. We saw a couple of guys not active today, like Juwan Lyons. Juwan Lyons took it 90 yards last year down the near sideline on a run. And we've seen Ant Carpenter make some big plays today. We've seen Walker in the backfield make some big plays. So
yeah, I'm not sure why you call a timeout and then punt.
Yeah, that was a wild
25
call
on the play clock. You basically would punt it and end the half. They just got to hope something big doesn't happen here.
Kicking into the wind.
Yeah, if you're the Union Bulldogs, you got to hope something big doesn't happen.
There's the snap. He kicks it. It's high in the air. It's going to float and stay up there. Take a bounce for the Bulldogs and roll dead at the 20. And that's where the whistle blows with 16 seconds here before the half. And if you're St. Andrews, I don't think you have anything to lose here. I don't think you go out there and take a knee. I think you line up with the win at your back, you launch it.
You're 0-6.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. It's like NASCAR guy never won a race before, and the crew chief says you're low on gas. He's like, okay, well, tell me. I'll tell you if I run out on the final lap.
Exactly.
But I'm not coming to get it.
How close are we? You said a half a lap? I'll do my best to save because I'm not coming to get gas.
You can put some gas in it when I bring it in.
So we'll see if Fowler decides to air it out here and line up with only 2 receivers, 2 left, 2 right. They hand it off. Run it up the middle, and a good job running. There's the first down. And then some by Leggett as he gets the ball across the 30 all the way out to the 34.
So 8 seconds to go, and hey, you send your guy down the sideline, put him on a scoop.
It's on your personal account?
So it's going to be, well, they didn't move the change yet, so is there a penalty flag? Yeah, there, I see it now. It's going to be holding against the offense. Okay, so that'll take it back and repeat first down. So I think here the clock's going to start after the penalty assessment. And the clock is winding. They're not gonna snap it. 2-1-0. So we're going to go to halftime here at St. Andrews. St. Andrews and the Union Bulldogs. St. Andrews leads 10-7 NAIA football here. We're going to take a break, get our stats and pregame or postgame. What we call a halftime show is what we're looking at.
Shop, click, and drive.
Ben Minot Shop, Click, and Drive halftime show coming up here in just a few minutes. Again, St. Andrews 10, Union Bulldogs 7. All right, back here at St. Andrews, halftime score 10-7. St. Andrews leads the Union Bulldogs. And we're going to get you updated on some college football and some Major League Baseball scores as we wait for our stats to be finalized. Major League Baseball, Tampa Bay and Cleveland tied up bottom of the 7th at 0-0. Neither team scored. Cleveland leads that series 1-0 after the victory yesterday. Seattle and Toronto, 4:07 p.m. start today. San Diego and the Mets. Mets taking it on the chin last night. That's a 7:37 start. And then Philadelphia, St. Louis, the 8:37 start. So Mark and I can get home time tonight. We can put on the split screen, watch 2 games at one time. So that's your college, your Major League Baseball update. College football scores update. First, Michigan and Indiana 10-10. Tennessee leads LSU 30-7. That's just the start of the third quarter. Texas Christian and Kansas all tied at 17, but Kansas quarterback Daniels is out with an injury. Mississippi State 27, Arkansas 10. Later today, you've got North Carolina, Miami with a 3 o'clock kickoff. And then you have Boston College and Clemson tonight, NC State and Florida State taking place a little bit later today. And then other scores as we get back into the system here. Duke and Georgia Tech kicking off at 4. Texas all over Oklahoma, 35-0. I'm not surprised at who's winning. I'm just surprised at the score there. Texas big of Oklahoma. 2 big weekends in a row that Oklahoma has taken it on the chin, and their coach that came from Clemson there has got to be on the hot seat right now. Louisville leads Virginia 20-17 with 5:39 to go in the third quarter. Purdue and Maryland all knotted up 17 apiece. Eastern Michigan 35, Western Michigan 7. Buffalo 31, Bowling Green 0. The Bowling Green score probably of interest to some of our Union listeners. Akron and Ohio 7, Akron 0. Georgia Southern, Georgia State, a battle of the other best teams in the state of Georgia. Georgia Southern, Georgia State 7-7. Auburn and Georgia kick off at 3:30. Liberty and UMass follow that at about 3:30 as well. You got Virginia Tech and Pittsburgh. All games with 4 o'clock start. Ohio State, Michigan State, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Washington, and Arizona State. North Carolina and Miami. Interesting matchup there. North Carolina 4-1. They only lost to Notre Dame. Miami 2-2. They're lost to Middle Tennessee State. I've seen lines where Carolina favored by 3. I've seen it where Miami's favored by 2.5. Appalachian State going for a sweep tonight in Texas as they will battle Texas State. They'll try to go 2-0. I don't know if Texas State is paying them $1.5 million or not, but
they're trying to get the W. Yeah, that's a game right there that I'm excited about, man. I really think App State's got something to prove in that one.
South Carolina look for the upset tonight against Kentucky. That's up in Kentucky. Army and Wake Forest, that game, I think it was last year, and Mark will maybe know the answer to this, but I think the final score of that one last year was like 75-70.
Yep, that's correct.
70-65. It was almost 150 points scored in that game, if I remember correctly.
You are correct. It was an absolute shootout. I was talking with a guy who's a big Wake fan at work, one of the suppliers at work. He was talking about, he's like, what do you think, man? And he got onto the subject about how high scoring that game was. He was like, yeah, he says, hopefully it's not a shootout like it was last year.
Yeah, it may be. Texas A&M and Alabama. CBS tonight. NC State and Florida State. Here's an interesting one. Coastal Carolina 5-0, UL Monroe. That's always –
that'll be a fun game.
Yeah, Coastal Carolina. They've played some good football. They're in New Appalachian State where these smaller schools have come in and beat some of the bigger programs.
Yeah, they got some talent on there. They got a young man who played at Porter Ridge High School at their quarterback, Grayson McCall, and really made a name for himself, has a potential to make it into the NFL as a quarterback. When you look at the PFF, the Pro Football Focus, you see a lot of You see a lot of them talking about him being a big, high-rated quarterback. You also see Sam Hartman up there, and you also see that other one from Charlotte as well, and Garrett Schroeder at Syracuse, so a lot of talent.
And I remember back in my days of refereeing high school football, Daniel Jones, who played at Latin, then went to Duke, and now with the New York Giants. So a lot of good football players coming out of Charlotte here. Some of the scores that's taken place already this week, Central Florida 41 over SMU, 41-19. Nebraska over Rutgers last night, 14-13. Houston, Memphis, I got to see the end of that game last night. Obviously, I didn't do a high school game last night, but 33-32 as Houston scored in the final seconds of that one. Colorado State finally in the win column this year. Colorado and Colorado State combined over 9, but now Colorado State wins over Nevada last night, 17-14. And San Jose State 40, UNLV 7 in games that were played last night.
That's funny you bring up finally getting into the win column. We got combined 0-12 here. Somebody's getting into the win column today here.
Yeah, so we're still waiting on the stats to come up to us, but still got about 11 minutes to go. And we talked about coming down here, and we come out of the Charlotte area, Charlotte Concord area. You come out of
the Lexington area.
High Point, Thomasville, Lexington area. Does that officially make you a High Tom?
I've been to some High Tom games.
The High Toms are the names of the minor league team up there. And speaking of minor league baseball, and this is something for sports fans all over the state, because if you're familiar with the Savannah Bananas, the minor league celebrity baseball team based out of Savannah, Georgia, that wears the yellow uniforms and everything, they announced one day this week here that they will be playing at the Kannapolis Stadium there in Kannapolis, where the Cannonballers play, and then they also will be in Durham next season. Tickets haven't gone on sale yet, but you can go to the Savannah Bananas website and put yourself on a waiting list, and you'll be alerted when those tickets go out. And we've tried to get tickets in Savannah a couple times, and those games are sold out. I mean, they're hot tickets. And so if you like some celebrity baseball, if you're not familiar with the Savannah Bananas, go out and Google Savannah Bananas and watch that baseball team. They do a lot of interesting things, not your typical minor league baseball, but it's almost like the basketball Harlem Globetrotters, but the baseball version of the Savannah Bananas.
A lot of good baseball at the lower level, man, and it just kind of gets overlooked. And it's great to have them coming up to Charlotte and Kannapolis area like that, so everybody gets the opportunity to see it, because it's just as fun as the major league games for sure. Yeah,
I've got a nephew who's going to be playing baseball at Lipscomb University. After Tommy John surgery, he may have to sit out for a year. But I'm looking forward to a lot of those college baseball games, and I could watch baseball all day.
It's long. A lot of beauty to it. There really is. Baseball is so much to it, if you ask me. A lot of people can't really get into the game. They say, I'd rather watch grass grow. I hear that a lot. But when you just watch the game.
You watch a baseball game, the grass will grow in between innings.
Exactly. It's just.
You get them both done.
I think it's so precise. Everything is so precise in that game, and it's just incredible to see the way that somebody can throw a ball 102 miles an hour and hit the exact spot they want to, and then somebody can hit that ball that's moving that fast. I
remember growing up as a kid, laying on the bed as a 9, 10, 11-year-old boy with my dad, listening to the Baltimore Orioles and the Atlanta Braves on a transistor radio. And yes, I'm 61 years old. Some of you don't even have a clue what a transistor radio is. But we would sit there and listen to the games, and the Braves, Milo Hamilton was the play-by-play of the Braves. And you just listen to those games, and that was fun. I mean, it was fun. But I remember stories. We're going to go, still got about 8 minutes here, baseball story where the Braves telecast one night, they always had people that could call in and ask questions, and the announcers would always say tomorrow's game's on WTBS or tomorrow's game's on ESPN only or Fox Sports South or whatever, and one of the games was going to be a radio game. It was back before the Braves broadcasted every baseball game, and Skip Carey said tomorrow's game's on Braves radio only. And they got a call to the station, and some guy that was out west somewhere, but he was a big Braves fan, and called and wanted to know where he could buy a Braves radio at.
Oh, my. That is awesome.
Because when he said Braves radio only, he's like, I got to get one of these Braves radios. They probably sell them only in Georgia, And
he could.
but yeah, he said, where can you buy one of those Braves radios? So
it's funny that you bring up radio and baseball, because I tell people stories like this all the time. I tell my buddy, I'm not quite as old as you are. I'm in my 30s, and I remember going out shopping during playoff baseball about this time of the year, and it's cold outside, and I'd go shopping with the family, and me and my grandfather would take off over to the radio aisle, back when radios were big, and you used to have the aisle set up for the radios, and we'd dial it up, and we'd find the game we wanted to listen to. And while the family was out shopping, we're standing there listening to Joe Buck and the guys talk about the baseball game, because we were so into it. That's memories I'll never forget from the game of baseball. Is, I didn't care about what was going on with the toys. I wanted to go over to the radio section, and I wanted to hear the baseball game.
Yeah, and, in any sport, there's a lot of people who say, well, I can't listen to sports on radio. Mark and I, we'll dial in Carolina and Miami on the way home today, but I can listen to baseball, football, basketball. I can listen to anything on radio. It's just something about, I guess, growing up and listening to it on the radio, we were always, familiar with it. But people who've never listened to it, the younger generation, they're like, oh, they can watch it on their phone. They can watch everything, So they're not used to watching or listening to it on the radio.
But a radio call, it just sounds so beautiful. It really does, because the art that it takes for you to be able to close your eyes, listen to what's going on, and have that picture painted for you in your head is absolutely gorgeous, and something that I love to listen to.
I've got a book and a CD. If you've got anything you can play a CD in, but it's got the best 50 calls of sports. It's got Dwight Clark catch. It's got the home runs, and it just the 20, 30 second clips of them. And
awesome.
It's awesome. So let's get back to football here. We got about 5 minutes before the start of the second half, and we're going to go over some of the stats here. First, for Union, they had 5 first downs. 4 of those come by the way of passing, 1 on a penalty. Third down efficiency, they were just 1 of 5. Did not go for fourth down on any of their possessions. Total offense, 84 yards. 22 offensive plays, an average of 3.8 yards per play. 76 of those yards on the ground or in the air, only 8 on the ground. They ran the ball 7 times for an average of 1.1 yard. So only 7 rushing attempts, 8 yards total. 76, they were 10 of 15. They were not sacked and did not have any interceptions at all. Punts, they punted 4 times for an average of 139 for 35.8 average. Total return yards, 2 returns for punts, 3 yards, 2 kickoff returns for 33 yards, and an interception return for no yards. There were 3 penalties on Union, no fumbles, no lost, 3 sacks for a total of 8 yards, 1 interception, time of possession 9-12. Stats heavily favor St. Andrews, 9 first downs, 4 passing, 4 rushing, 1 by penalty. Third down efficiency, they were 3 of 9. Fourth down efficiency, they were 2 of 2.
That's the big one that sticks out to me right there, the 2 for 2 on fourth down.
Total offense, 205 yards, and that's what they've been averaging on the season, is right at 200 yards. So they got that in the first half alone. They ran 39 offensive plays, almost doubling up what Union ran. Passing yards, 96. They were 12 of 19. 3 sacks for a total of 8 yards, had 1 intercepted. On the ground, they rushed the ball 20 times for a total of 109 yards, averaging 5 yards per carry on the ground. So good percentage there. Punted 3 times for an average of 32 yards. Total return yards were 46, no punt return yardage. Kickoff returns 2 for 46. They did have 5 penalties. That's a stat.
Yeah.
That's a stat number you don't want to
have in your favor.
Have in your favor is 5 penalties for 50 yards. They lost
yards.
1 fumble. Time of possession doubling up Union. They were almost 21 minutes compared to 9 for Union.
If you can control the clock like they've done right there, like you just mentioned, they held the ball for 20 minutes and Union only held it for 9. You'll give them the 20 yards because you're in all kinds of time of possession.
Yeah. For Union individually, Jake Metters, 8 of 12, 77 yards, 1 touchdown. Rushing attempts, Andre Johnson 5 for 9. Receiving leader was Cadell Robinson, 1 reception, 34 yards. Chris Thomas had the touchdown on his only reception of the game. For St. Andrews, Andrew Fowler, a respectable 11 of 18, 78 yards, 25. But those are good numbers with the wind issues we're having today. Dennis Leggett, 11 carries, 77 yards, longest coming on that 38-yard play near the end of the first half there. So a long touchdown there for Leggett. Antarius Carpenter, 4 of 20, 4 attempts, 20 yards there. Receiving, we got Dante Crowder with 3 receptions for only 12 yards, but Devon Roche, Marcus McCoy, and Antarius Carpenter all with 2 receptions each. That's kind of where we stand right now. 10-7 St. Andrews. Defensive stats for Union. Taryn Cox, 4 solo tackles, 5 assisted. He got 9 total tackles in that first half along with Adam Cheney. He's got 2 solo tackles, 4 assisted tackles, and a total of 6. For your man, Austin Hunt for St. Andrews, 2 solo tackles, 4 assisted tackles, 6 total. You're saying, well, not a lot of tackles. Well, they only ran 22 offensive plays. He's in on a third of them on the tackles. Tackles for loss, 2.5 for 4 yards.
And so that's big. He stepped up, man. He stepped in as that leader of that defense after that loss of Andrew Austin last year, and they needed somebody that could do that, and he's been that guy.
Yeah, so good defense there. Passes broken up, 3 for Union, 1 for St. Andrews. As the teams are back on the field, that's the Ben Minot Shop Click and Drive halftime show.
One more thing that stood out to me on that sheet that you had there was the passing. How Roach was the leader in receptions for this team of the Knights for St. Andrews. When you look at it on paper with the injury of Cook, you kind of look at it and you wonder through it and you see who you think is going to be, and your mind instantly looks and you see Marcus McCoy, the transfer from Southern Mississippi, and you're like, there it is right there. But instead it's been Devin Roach today. He was very quiet in the last time we were here. McCoy made the plays, but today has been Roach.
Yeah, and the other thing that we've talked about too is possessions. St. Andrews 7 possessions, Union 6. Okay, and we say that 2 for 1. Had Union been able to get the ball back there at the end of the half, they would have been the 7th possession. They would have started with their 8th possession, and they would have been 2 ahead of St. Andrews. So that's where that 2 for 1 deal comes in. So St. Andrews was able to, we know 1 possession more or less, you're okay. But you don't want to fall 2 or 3 possessions behind. And you may get a possession, you give it away on the first play on a fumble interception, and then that creates a challenging effect for you in the second half. So I'm anxious to see. What the attitude of both of these teams are as they come out here for the second half.
As you look at
St. Andrews,
as you look here at the shot that Mark's getting us, the young lady filming here for the Union.
Yeah.
She's out here putting all in her hard time, recording, getting the game action so Union can watch it. It takes everybody to put it on, Perry.
Yeah, we've got St. Andrews film crew over here as well, and the young lady here turned around and smiled for us.
She looks like she's happy to be here in Laurinburg.
She's made the long trip from Barberville, Kentucky. Is that right? Yeah. So how many hours did it take you? 7. It's a 7-hour trip. That makes it 5.5 for me because I know I drive faster than everybody else. Mark even made that comment coming down here. Mark said, you're a faster driver. We might make it back down here in November when we've got to come back and we're going to be here late.
On the 5th.
He said, if you drive, we'll be there in time. He said, if I drive, we may not be there in time.
As you heard him mention, the 5th back in November, that's the next home game for the Knights when they're here at home against, who is that? That's Point? I think it's Point they're playing at home.
They'll play Point twice this year. We're set for the kickoff, and that's going to be deep.
It's going to be fielded over the head there at the 15. Take it far side and come back to the middle and be brought down at the 25. One with the reception is going to be Robinson. And that was the Ben Minot Shop, Click, and Drive halftime show. Thanks for hanging out with on it. Perry with all the stats. Good job with that, Perry. Told a few stories, had some fun, telling some score updates on the Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard. Mark having a good time here over producing, getting some good shots, enjoying the halftime show as well. Check out our Twitter page as well. We have found out where the game is at. It is on the St. Andrews Twitter feed, or YouTube page, so please catch the action there, as that one is stuffed right up the middle by, again, a host of Knights that were there to greet them.
Yeah, we're going to have an injury timeout as well.
One of the ones there to greet him was Devin Turner, the senior from Salisbury, went to West Rowan High School.
My alma mater. Give a shout out to those Falcons.
The big man in there up the middle to make the hit, and it looks like the injured player there is going to be the running back of Robinson. He took a shot there, as you just mentioned, your alma mater. Big boy came up the middle, and he laid a hit on him. 6 foot tall, 265 pounds came through the line, and he put a hit on a guy that was only, let's see here, only 5'9", 190. Big size difference. As there was the first play here of the second half. We are stopped for injury timeout. Getting up. Looks like he might have maybe some bloody nose or something, holding a towel.
We'll find out.
So he appears to be okay, walking off under his own power, holding his right arm up towards his face. So maybe just a bloody nose. He's hopefully okay and able to get back into the game.
We were at a game earlier this year where there was we thought there was some blood on the field.
Yes, we were.
And they had to come clean it, but it's actually something that fell off one of the band displays that was part of the halftime show that they were cleaning and everything. So set to go back to action here, 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Ball spotted at their own 25. 2 left, 1 right. Northfleet gets it and will keep it. He spins and jumps forward. He'll pick up a couple.
Yeah, number 42 for St. Andrews coming in and making that tackle. He was not fooled on that play at all.
That's Austin Hunt.
Hadn't called that name, have we?
No, we haven't said that name at all today, Austin Hunt. As you hear the PA announcer saying to the home crowd, stand up. A good crowd here on hand in St. Andrews for Parents' Day. Came out hot and heavy here in Laurinburg to support the Knights, trying to get their first win of the season. 3rd down here. Northfleet rolls it out, plants his feet and fires deep, and has got a man and just overthrows him as he tried to get that one into the hands there of the junior wide receiver, Chris Thomas.
That'll create a 4th down punting situation for the Bulldogs. So St. Andrews holds on this first possession of the second half.
He had his man beat, Thomas did. He had a step on him just over his head by about a yard, and that'll force the Bulldogs to punt here.
Well, the wind's kind of changing directions a little bit, kind of going, kind of blowing across the field right now from the far side to the near side. We get a high snap, they do get the punt away.
And it's going to be a short punt that isn't even going to make it back to midfield because the wind caught that one and bounced out of bounds at the 44. In great field position here for the Knights. That one went up in the air, and you kind of just watched it hit a wall and stop. Only about a 20-yard punt there, Perry.
Yeah, so that'll be excellent field position for the Knights on their first possession here.
As Fowler, the senior, trots out there to try to increase the lead here for the Knights, who are leading 10-7 with 13:28 left here in the 3rd quarter, trying to make it a 10-point lead for the Knights early in the 3rd. McCoy to the top by himself, man on an island. Fowler will keep it, though. Nice jump cut. Got enough of the first down, heading towards the sideline. And a good piece of running there to get inside the Pizza Hut red zone by Andrew Fowler.
Yeah, Fowler cut to the outside. Had plenty of room. And once he got into the secondary, got to the outside and did a great job there. Got smart play going out of bounds, not taking a hit. He's been hit a couple times already today. So you're going to spot that about the 18-yard lines. That's going to be a pickup of 27 on that play.
And a good job by the offensive line. We've mentioned the offensive line a lot today. They get that surge up front against that defense, and when they do, they open up big holes, and Fowler took advantage of it there.
And we're going to get movement, and that's the things that, you get a good play and boom, you have an issue.
That'll back them up and put the ball all the way back to the 23 now. So outside the Pizza Hut red zone. They were in the drive-through and then decided, I guess, we're going to pull out a line real quick. So now they're going to decide to line up here for first down with 2 right and 1 left. Carpenter in the backfield as the running back. Gives it to Carpenter here. And Carpenter's going to be grabbed in the backfield at the 25. Was grabbed there by, was that number 2 who got his hand on him?
It was number 7.
Number 7. That's going to be Zion McCray.
Mark has more chance to answer this question correctly than you, James, but when's the last time you've seen a defensive line with 3 defensive linemen, all single-digit numbers?
Oh, I can't.
Mark's seen more games than you, but
yeah,
I don't know that Mark's ever seen that before.
I don't think I've ever seen it either.
I have it.
And they got him to jump off sides. Free play here. Fowler throws, going for McCoy. Overthrows him, but able to get him to jump. So it was a free play. You might as well go for it.
We'll come back here and see if the offense moved. They should have stopped the play if it was offense. Yeah, it's going to be on the defense. So folks, if you wonder, if you see that sometimes and want to know why, if the offense moves, they stop the play. They're not going to run a play that's not going to mean anything anyway. So they're going to stop the play right then and mark the penalty off. If it's against the defense, they'll run the play because the defense basically commits the foul, so they'll give the offense to either take that penalty or take the result of the play. That being incomplete, they're going to take the result of the penalty and move it 5 yards.
Zion McCray, the guilty party there. Carpenter with the carry. And he'll get back to the 20. So inside the Pizza Hut red zone, or actually right on the edge of the Pizza Hut red zone, are the Knights. Remember, it's not too late to go to pizzahut.com. Order yourself a pizza, breadsticks, and Perry's favorite, the cinnamon sticks.
I had some Thursday night. I was watching the boring NFL field goal game.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday night I was sitting there eating some cinnamon sticks. And
referee was just showing us our dance moves out here, raising the roof.
Yeah, resetting the play clock.
Yeah, if you ever see the white hat raise his hands up like he's raising the roof, he just wants the play clock reset. As Fowler set to throw, and that one goes through the hands of McCoy. He was up there to get it. Just went right through his hands.
4th and 13 from the 20-yard line. They're going to leave the offense on the field right now, and I think that's a good call, good decision there.
So we were talking about that offensive line. I just got the number now of the big man who's jogging off the field here. He's a junior defensive lineman from Georgia. It's Musgrave, 435 pounds.
Yeah. 4th and 13.
Fowler set to throw here. Goes near side. Wide open McCoy, and he makes the touchdown. McCoy was wide open on a blown coverage here, Perry. Look at this. One-on-one, no safety help over the top, and he gets the touchdown. Fowler set to throw here. Goes near side. Wide open McCoy, and he makes the touchdown. McCoy was wide.
Defense. I don't know if Mark, can you run that again by chance? But, yeah, look at that.
I think he can only run it once, it looked like.
Yeah, great pass blocking there by that offensive line. That puts St. Andrews up 16-7 as we await the extra point.
And McCoy was wide open there. That was just an easy throw for the senior of Andrew Fowler. Oh, it's bobbled.
Yeah, it bobbled, and
Fowler's the one who picks it up. Also plays the holder, Andrew Fowler does. He'll pick it up, and PAT will be no good. So that'll keep the score 16-7. The Knights lead by 9 here early in the third quarter with 11:10 remaining. Perry Gabriel here doing stats, stats, color, a little bit of play-by-play in there.
And even some camera.
Even some camera. Mark Plemmons over here doing camera work, producing, trying to help us with stats as well, as you see him pointing down towards the St. Andrews sideline, huddled up there with the head coach of Robert Curtin, trying to get his first win as the head coach here for the Knights.
You know, it's Parents Weekend here at St. Andrews as well, and you know, they've got stadium seating here, but they give the parents a little bit extra seating over here on our far side. I think as Mark's got a shot at, they pull up some chairs and bring them up to the field. So Parents Weekend here at St. Andrews, and they've given them the front row seat and a good crowd of parents over there. Thank you, Mark, for that shot.
And, you know, it wouldn't be possible for these athletes. It would be, but it wouldn't be quite as possible without the support from your parents. And to have your parents here and watch you means so much. I know when I was playing sports, to have my parents there, it meant more to me. So great to have all the parents on hand here today. Fielded at the 18.
Ooh.
And he took a lick, and the ball's out. The ball has popped out, and it's recovered by the Knights. Meant more to me. So great to have all the parents on hand here today. Fielded at the 18.
Ooh.
And he took a lick, and the ball's out. The ball has popped out. 3 of them there that laid the hit on him. That was recovered by number 24 of the night. It's going to be Kyles. And the one who I saw that I'm going to say made the hit is going to be number 56.
Yeah,
John
56
Brown.
is the one getting the big high fives on the sideline here.
It's John Brown. He's the one who put the hit on him to force the fumble, the junior. Able to put the hit on him and get recovered, and the offense is right back out there on the field for the Knights. In great field position, ball spotted at the.
Yeah.
They're looking to run it here with Leggett.
I thought they might go back to that same play
With McCoy, yeah.
Yeah, being, hey, if you didn't cover it the first time, until you cover it, we're going to run it again.
That's what it looked like they were lined up as, and instead they decided to run it with Leggett, and it takes just one play. And the Knights are right back inside the Pizza Hut red zone.
Yeah, you know, you may have a warm pizza there and you got another one on the way now. That's quick as you got in the Pizza Hut red zone.
The way they're playing today, they look hungry, and it shows it with them keep getting in the red zone. Hand it to Leggett again. Got a blocker in front.
Did he ever? Yeah, I was going to say, did his knee go down?
Official says yes at the 10. It looked like he spun over top of the guy, but the official's going to say he was down at the 10. And he had a blocker in front of him. It looked like it was big number 80, the tight end there, blocking for him, creating a big hole. That's going to be Walker who created that hole for him. They're going to put 2 left, 1 right. They line up again in that same formation with McCoy down here. No safety help over the top. Watch for him to air it out here, Perry.
Yeah,
that's what they do. And where's the flag on that one? All kinds of hand fighting going on. They let that one go.
Yeah, well, there's a flag being thrown from the referee in the middle of the field. I don't know that that's maybe going to be an eligible man downfield. I'm not sure he shouldn't even be looking in the end zone from his refereeing position. I'm not so certain that that's an eligible man downfield or a holding call on the offense.
And that one there could definitely be that, but in the end zone, McCoy, he looked like he was being all kinds of held there.
Yeah. And that's not a 50-50 ball. When you've got that height advantage, that's about an 80-20. Yeah.
An eligible man. Got it right there, Perry, and our producer, Mark, saying he had a bear hug on McCoy.
Yeah.
He said he had both arms wrapped around him, is what Mark Plemmons saw from his vantage point. It definitely looked like he had a little bit of.
Did we pack the red flag this week? we left it. Must have left it in the storage room at the 485 offices.
Backs the ball up to the 10. 2 left, 1 right, lined up in the same formation again. Leggett the back. Fowler will keep it, and he runs into a wall, and he'll lose a yard.
That's going to be 3rd and goal.
Tackle made there by Devon Moore, the senior. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and goal here for the Knights. Bringing in some substitution. Couple of fresh bodies. They bring the tight end to Walker back out there. Last time we saw Walker on the field, he made a huge block. They're bringing in Cam Lakey, the freshman wide receiver from Taylorsville. He already nailed his college or high school.
Alexander Central.
Fowler with it, rolls it to the right, throws. McCoy bobbles it. Is he in? No.
Yeah, he was way out. That wasn't close. So that's gonna
bring up 4th down. McFadder's out there. The kicker of McFadder is heading out there to kick the the field goal extra point.
Ball's going to be spotted at 17. That'll make it a 27-yard attempt.
And you have to watch out for something with St. Andrews. When you got your starting quarterback is the holder.
Yeah, and they had the bobble snap, and you don't want people piling on him.
There's the snap, gets it down, kick is up. McFadder kicks it, and it is good. That makes the score 19-7. A 13-point lead here for the Knights.
Yeah, and here's my thought on this right now. There's still plenty of time left to play. I'm not saying St. Andrews is going to win this game, but when you're up 12 on a team that only averages about a touchdown a game and 200 yards of total offense, your chances are pretty good. Yep. But that doesn't mean you stop playing. You still have to stop them. We've seen them move the ball in that first half a couple times. They had a 53-yard drive. They had a 36-yard play that ended in a missed, or 36-yard drive ended in a missed field goal. So they can move the ball and they can still score. And we see how quick a turnover affects the ball game. They lost a possession right there, but they're still on 2 scores down. Still plenty of time to go. But you got to like the chances of St. Andrews right now.
Oh, you definitely have to like the chances of St. Andrews. Special teams, they've won that battle.
Yep.
Defense, they've won that battle. Offensively, they've won that battle. And if you look at the scoreboard, they're winning up there as well. So you definitely have to like it if you're a St. Andrew Knight right now.
But I can promise you the Bulldogs from Barberville, Kentucky won't quit. They'll keep fighting. And all good teams, all good coaches will make sure of that, as we still have 24 minutes of game time left.
As we're set to kick this one away, the wind's starting to pick up here. Now the flag standing out. It will be at the back of the Knights kicking it here. Short and fielded at the 22.
Oh.
A huge hole there for the return man. And he stays on his feet running forward across the 50 all the way down to the 45. And a good return there by Owens.
Yeah, and that's what you needed after the fumble on the last possession and giving up the field goal. That's good starting field position for them for a couple of reasons. One, short field. You only got 45-plus yards to go for the touchdown. And two, when you only have that short yardage to go, it doesn't eat up as much time off the clock. It saves some game clock. And right now you need all the time clock you can get.
They send Northfleet out there, is the quarterback. Northfleet's been in since Meters took a hit there in the second quarter. We haven't seen him back out there on the field yet, so far a lot of Northfleet here. Northfleet to throw. Looks deep, got a man. And he makes the basket catch all the way down at the 7. What a play by Norman.
Yeah, great play there, great catch. And that was into the wind as well.
And he floated that one up. Norman able to get under it and make the basket catch. Falling down, moves the ball all the way up to the 7-yard line. Biggest play of the day there for the Bulldogs now. Previous was 34.
Yeah, 38 yards there on that play. And the Bulldogs have striking quick here.
Under center is Northfleet. Hands it off to Johnson. He'll fight down to the 2.
And folks, you can see the flag in the in this shot here. The way it's blowing, and it's been blowing steady pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, it's been a very windy day. So a 2nd and goal with the ball at the 2 here for the Bulldogs, trying to punch it in. Northfleet under center, gives it to Johnson. And he's going to be stopped in the backfield. The first one there for the Knights is Richard, who's in there first, and also in there on the tackle was Austin Hunt.
Yeah, St. Andrews is going to make them earn this.
Ball back still at the 2. No gain there on third down. Northfleet will go under center again with 2 backs in the backfield. Johnson again. This time Northfleet keeps it, rolls it left, and he's going to walk in there.
So Northfleet puts it in from 3.
On third down, Northfleet will go under center again with 2 backs in the backfield. Johnson again. This time Northfleet keeps it, rolls it left, and he's going to walk in there.
So kick the ball out, but that's going to cut the deficit to 6, awaiting the extra point.
And there's a great shot of the flag that you mentioned there, Perry. As you see, it's blowing from left to right here on the field. So if you're kicking from left to right, the wind's helping you. And the throw that Northfleet made there was into the wind because he was working from right to left and still made it. And the referee is showing his dance moves again. As we await the extra point here.
Snap spot kick is up and good.
Justin Spear able to put that one through.
So that makes it 19-14, 7 minutes exactly left here. Third quarter from Laurinburg, North Carolina, Scotland County, home of Franklin Stubbs and some other baseball greats. Making their home here in the Scotland County area, and an area that is rich in high school football as well, James. The,
very
Scotland,
rich.
Richmond County area.
A lot of professionals.
Year in, year out, a lot of high school football players making their way
to the D1 level, and then a couple of big names that come into mind very quickly that I can think of that are in the game. One from Richmond is Melvin Ingram.
Yep.
He plays in the NFL, went to Richmond Senior, and then if you go over to Scotland, you think of a name, a running back who played at Georgia. Possibly he's got the biggest legs I've ever seen in Zamir White.
Yeah.
So he played at Scotland High, very rich.
Update on Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard here before the kickoff. Michigan 17, Indiana 10. Tennessee all over LSU 37-7. TCU and Kansas 31-24 TCU. Mississippi State doubling up Arkansas 34-17. Florida by 7 over Missouri with 5 left. And Texas all over the Sooners 49-0.
Hook 'em horns. And they try an onside kick here, but that will be recovered at the 50 by the 9.
Florida by 7 over Missouri with 5 left. And Texas all over the Sooners 49-0.
Hook 'em horns. And they try an onside kick here, but that will be recovered. And it was a good job there by Amos Kyle. Able to recover that one because I don't think they were ready for it like you said.
I don't think so either. They had the normal return set up. But nothing to lose there. You got to stop them anyway. You just give them a short field. That's really the only thing you lose there on that. So St. Andrews taking over at the 50.
And I don't hate that because there's still plenty of game time left to recover from that.
Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 50 for the Knights. Give it to the back. He goes up the middle of Williams, and that ball pops out, but they're going to say he's down.
Say he's down, yeah.
It's the right call. He was definitely down. Definitely down.
Yeah.
And then good sportsmanship there.
Mark, can we run that replay?
I mean, big number 61. Yeah. It's the right call. He was definitely down. Definitely down.
Yeah.
And then good sportsmanship there.
Mark, can we run that replay?
That's going to be Marvin Farmer coming over there to help him up. But, yeah, like you just said, he played through the whistle. He must have missed it, but good sportsmanship, able to come pick the young man up. He sent flying.
Yeah, 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8, 2 right, 1 left, and a timeout here for the Knights.
So we'll keep it right here with 6:22 to go, 19-14. Mark Plemmons, Perry Gabriel, James Melink, and Mark, what's going on with the? He didn't hear me. He stepped away for a second. But basketball season starts at the college level.
Yeah,
practices and everything, and football season getting into the conference games, big game, Coastal Division, the ACC today, Carolina and Miami down in Coral Gables, and. Speaking of Florida, we talked earlier about the roster mix-up of these two teams. a lot up and down the eastern seaboard, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee. Those families in Florida still being affected by Hurricane Ian. You know, plenty of ways to donate to worthy causes. Red Cross amongst one of them, but there are plenty others. But yeah, the folks down in Florida, a lot of work ahead of them. My brother was affected by that, living down in Port Charlotte, pretty much within about 5 miles of where the eye of the hurricane went through. But shout out to you guys for what you've been through, and our thoughts and prayers for those that lost loved ones. And just keep your head up and fight strong, and you'll be taken care of.
Yeah, you're not in it alone, for sure. Your family is it's got your back just like you did with your brother. Yeah. Fowler set to throw here, looks deep, airing it out, got a man a Roach, and overthrows him. He aired it out to Roach, and the wind certainly pushed that ball.
Yeah, when you get the wind at your back like that, that's an extra 5 to 7 yard, play. Hopefully, if you can come down with it.
And he went right back to him. That would have been the biggest that would have been the biggest play of the day for the Knights if that one would have connected.
Third and 8.
4 receivers here. No, 3. Sorry, they got a wing back lined up. Fowler set to throw. Looks across the middle. Fires to McCoy. And that one's intercepted. Returning it back.
Still on his feet.
Far sideline.
Driven out of bounds. And
Fowler set to throw. Looks across the middle. Fires to McCoy. And that one's intercepted. Returning it back.
Still on his feet.
Far sideline. There. And that was just a little bit high thrown by Fowler there. McCoy went up to get it. Couldn't bring it down. Tyron Cox gets the bounce and deflection off the hands of McCoy from Alcon, Tennessee, Alcon High School.
Just outside of Knoxville.
And now they start with a short field and the ball at the 50.
Yeah, so their last possessions, they've started with great field position.
And he took a shot as he went out of bounds, ran square into the chain gang, and everything went flying. As they hand the ball off to the back of Johnson, and he'll pick up 4. And good to see Johnson back out there. Is that Johnson? Or is that 24? That's 24. That's Johnson.
2nd and 6, we'll call it. Under 6 minutes, third quarter.
3 receivers here. Northfleet rolls left, throws. And that one's going to be in and out of the hands of the intended target there, Black. First time we've called his name today. Mario Black, the senior, 5'10", 160 from Lexington, Kentucky. And a good job on the hit there by Kashawn Rails. The freshman able to pop that one loose out of the hands, and that brings up a 3rd down and 6 here for the Bulldogs. See if the Knights defense can step up here. Northfleet to throw. He'll pull it down and run now. He makes a man miss, spins, and jumps forward, and he'll get the first down, and a good piece of running again. Step up here. Northfleet to throw. He'll pull it down and run now. He makes a man miss, spins, and jumps forward.
Give him the first down.
Yeah, the defender he spun around there was Jalen Irvin. After he spun around him, he was able to jump forward and get a few more yards there to make sure he had the first. He already had it, but able to get it there, and it moves the ball all the way up to the Knights 37. Give it to the man in motion, but Northfleet keeps it, actually, and he'll get back to the line. I couldn't tell who had the ball there with both of them running away from us. Couldn't tell if he handed it off to Johnson or if he kept it himself. And again, did you hear the name they just called that was in there on the tackle?
Austin Hunt.
Austin Hunt. His stat sheet today is going to look spectacular.
Yeah, he had 6 tackles in the first half.
And he had 2.5 for a loss. And he's had a couple more here in the second half. Northfleet to throw, looks far side of the field. Throws into double coverage. That one's going to fall incomplete. Trying to get that one over to North. Loss. And he's had a couple more here in the second half. Northfleet to throw, looks far side of the field. Throws into double coverage. That one's going to fall incomplete. Coming over the top to help out his teammate there of Hutchinson.
Play clock at 15. They're still in the huddle. Should have plenty of time.
It's a 3rd down and 10. A big 3rd down here for the Bulldogs. Have to think you're in 4-down territory here. You want to at least get half of it. And whistles and a false start.
They're going to need more than 10.
And that could change the game plan because you were looking to just get half of that there because you're kind of in 4-down territory trailing here with 4:15 in the 3rd. Now you got to get 15 yards. So you need to change the play call here. Now you're looking for more of a medium shot, not just a normal 3 or 4 yard out route maybe. 2 left, 1 right. Northfleet steps up and fires. Got a man who makes the catch, and he's just short.
It's going to be close depending on the spot.
And they're going to, it looks like it's going to be enough.
Yeah, they are stopping the clock, so that will be enough for the 1st down.
Nice catch there by Zach Young. Able to get inside leverage on his defender.
Yeah, they're not moving the chains. Oh, there they go.
There they are. Now they're moving them. And he got inside leverage there on his defender. And Northfleet saw it, and he burned it in there and right at the sticks, right where he needed to be for the 1st down, and that'll move the chains for the Bulldogs. And the ball spotted now at the 27. Johnson with the carry. And he runs right in to the big man up front and nowhere to go as he runs into the outstretched arms of Jalen McFadden. Austin Hunt in there again, along with Jalen McFadden. And the one standing there, whew, Jalen McFadden had them arms reached out and just bear hugged him.
Sort of like the defender did on the previous play in the end zone.
Yes, sir. Northfleet to throw. Takes a shot, but that's going to be caught near side and walking in there after the missed tackle for the touchdown. It's going to be Matthew Williams.
And no penalty flags. So Union takes it in.
Oh, wrong sheet there. That's Isaiah Johnson who got it. The touchdown.
And just like that, Union has taken the lead 20-19.
And that's how quick things can change. See if the Knights can get the offense going here, pending the extra point, down by 1. Snap kick, and it's blocked. The Knights got to it, and that one is blocked.
They've been close on those.
Here, pending the extra point, down by 1. Snap kick, and it's blocked. The Knights got to it, and that one is blocked.
The 19 Union Bulldogs trying to make this 7-hour trip back to Barberville, Kentucky, a little bit on the sweeter side with the victory over St. Andrews, but St. Andrews trying to preserve this home game today with Parents' Day and Breast Cancer Awareness Day. 2019, 3:02 to go here from beautiful Laurinburg, North Carolina on 485 Sports.
Look down at the sideline, and we see the man who was able to get that big mid up there and make the block, a Golson, getting pounded on the back, and high fives from everyone as they walk up to him here as he sits down on the bench. 1-point ball game, Perry. We have a shootout here in Laurinburg.
You know, we said these are two teams evenly matched. They've been beat by the same teams. Their yardage that they gain per game is pretty similar. Points that they give up pretty similar. They both gave turnovers away in their games earlier this year. We expected this matchup, and right now these are good ball games. I mean, these are when two teams can play like this and go back and forth like they have.
Williams to the left, Leggett to the right. It'll be short, never make it to either one of them, but Williams will field it at the 22.
He's got some room up the middle.
It's up to the 40 and falls across the 40 and down at the 41.
So let's see what St. Andrews can do here.
So about a 20-yard return there by Williams.
Yeah, let's take a quick look at the Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard. Michigan 17, Indiana 10. Tennessee still all over LSU, 37-13. TCU and Kansas tied at 31 with 4 minutes to go. Mississippi State 40, Arkansas 17. Florida just beat Missouri. That one just went final 24-17. Virginia down to Louisville 34-17. We'll get you updated on some more on the Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard.
Leggett with the carry. And he'll get a couple. And that Michigan-Indiana game, that's always a tough one for me. You know why? Because, A, Jim Harbaugh was my favorite football player growing up, so I like him as a coach. But I like the Hoosiers.
Yeah, you're an Indiana man.
So I'm like, who do I root for? Do I root for Jim Harbaugh, who I love, or do I root for my Hoosiers?
You still got to root for Indiana.
So I go with the Hoosiers usually on that one. That's who I typically go with. Yes, sir. As we line up, trips right, 1 left for this second down and 8 here. And a delay of game, is that what that's going to be?
Yeah.
Oh, a false start.
Mark, who do the Niners have today? They got the week off? They got the week off.
Niners, the 49ers. You're talking about Charlotte there. They play in the Conference USA Conference, the Niners do. Mark Plemmons does women's basketball for the Niners. 2 left, 1 right after the penalty, making it a second down and 14 here. Leggett with the carry, and he'll pick up about a yard. Get the ball to the 39. And took a little while to get everyone out of that pile.
Our scoreboard operator, Gunnar Line, is manning the mound today up in East Tennessee State University. He normally runs our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard, but he's pitching today in a travel baseball tournament.
It is final in the Red River rivalry. Whoa. Give you an update on that one here in a minute. As Fowler shifts Leggett from right to left here, off trips left. Looks near side with the man on an island. McCoy throws it. Overthrows him by about a yard and a half there.
McCoy cut in, coming down the sideline. I think if he'd have stayed straight, he may have had a better chance of catching that.
Yeah, he threw that over his outside shoulder. Fowler did. As you mentioned, he did make a cut inward. And that'll stall the drive out for the offense. And the punting unit will head out onto the field for the Knights. So three and out for the Knights. No, they got 1 first down, didn't they? No? I know they didn't. They started at the 41. You're right. So, yeah, no first down, 3 and out. Just gets that one away and fielded by Owens, and he took a shot after he caught that one.
Penalty flag late. I'm not sure. I'm gonna guess on this. I think I'm gonna be right. I'm gonna be kick catching interference. You have to give the guy an opportunity to catch the ball and not block his sight. Now, I won't be surprised if they wave this off because he did catch the ball. He didn't interfere with him. He caught it.
McZeke.
We'll dial up the replay here and see how close that actually was, but I don't. Yeah, we'd have a 4-minute review here if we were. Yeah, they're going to waive. I think they're going to waive this off.
McZeke, the one who made the hit.
Nope. Did he call fair catch?
No,
I didn't see
his knee hit the ground, I bet. He went down to get the ball, and I bet the knee hit the ground, and McZeke didn't see it, and he came in and hit him after the knee was on the ground. That's what I'd bet the call was for. I thought the knee stayed up, but he must have hit the ground. We didn't have a replay. It's a little bit too far gone, but I'm going to say the knee touched, and he came in there and laid the wood on him. That'll move the ball up to the 42 after the 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty.
Minute 7 to go, fourth quarter, 2019 Union over St. Andrews.
Northfleet has 2 right, 1 left. throws. That one's going to go incomplete, trying to get that one over to Norman.
Now here's the other thing that comes into play with a game like this. First, St. Andrews. They haven't been involved in a close game all year. So how do they handle this pressure? How do they handle a game that they still have an opportunity to win? How do they not let something like that control their what they do from here on out? Put that behind you, get a stop here, and you get the ball back to go for a touchdown. Union, on the other hand, they're winning by 1. They've got the ball. They still know they have to get the play on the far side, and St. Andrews.
Norman able to get out of that and tiptoe down the sideline.
Yeah.
Looked like he's going to get hit.
Union, on the other hand, they're winning by 1. They've got the ball. They still know they have to get the play on the far side, and St. Andrews.
Norman able to get out of that and able to shake away from 2 Knights players over there.
And to finish that, then they go. They got to say, okay, well, we're up by 1, but we still need to score because we know we've got to move the ball.
35 seconds here left in the third quarter. Ball at the 49 of the Bulldogs. 3rd down and 4 here. Fakes the handoff, Northfleet. Roll it, jump throw, and tries to make the one-handed catch, but can't bring it in. Is going to be the halfback of Marshall Minton.
All right, so that's the stop the Knights needed.
That stops the clock with 20 seconds left in the third quarter. And it looks like the offense is going to stay out there for the Bulldogs. And see what they're going to do. It looks like they're not. They're going to bring out the punting unit. For a while, Northfleet was still out there, and then they changed their mind.
That got all the St. Andrew fans up and
they
ready to shout defense. And
they got to hustle here. The play clock down to 5, and they're not even close to set yet.
Yeah,
2, 1. They get it off, but
they call timeout. They get the penalty.
Let's see what they're going to timeout it. They got it in. They got it off, but I don't know how pretty it would have been.
Yeah, I would have taken the 5-yard penalty there and just say, you know what, I'm going to give up 5 yards. I'm going to keep that timeout, especially in a game that's this close, and see, you may need it.
Yeah, 5 yards I don't think would have been as devastating as that timeout like you just said. And
yeah, I think Dean Smith's estate sold his timeouts when he died. Made about $2.5 million off of them. he had so many. He had so many left. And he saved them.
We mentioned we had an update on our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard. It went final in the Red River rivalry. It was nothing but horns in that matchup. Yeah. The final was 49-0. Texas gets the big win, and while we're already talking about that,
what was the coach's name from Clemson that went down there for the defense for Oklahoma? But he has not played any defense the last 2 weeks.
No, they have not. And quick
update.
Yeah. Yes, and a quick update real quick. Michigan, Indiana. Michigan just punched another one in. 24-10. Michigan leads Indiana in that one.
So here's the 4th down punt. And they're going to try to draw them off.
Oh, right through the line. And that's just a high punt. Ain't got a whole lot of distance on it. Just squared up in the air and it's going to take a bounce for the Knights. And bounce back to the 39.
I don't know if you saw this, but the kicker went down. He was not hit. He fell down, but the referee stayed down there long enough to help him back up off the ground.
I didn't see that. I watched the ball go up in the air.
They're letting them play. You see them on the outside. The corners and everybody, too, are being hooked. And the receivers. They're letting them play.
They're definitely letting them play. Mark Plemmons running the producer side of it, seeing it himself. They're letting them play out there today. He's seeing it. Perry's seeing it. Seeing it. Physical game here in the Appalachian Athletic Conference today. Both teams trying to get their first win. 5 trips left here. McCoy down here on an island by himself. He does have safety help over the top. They hand it to Leggett, who will pick up a couple and get the ball out to the 42. And if you've noticed, every now and then they try to bring safety help over the top from McCoy. That time they had it, thinking they were going to take that deep shot. Instead, they ran it with Leggett. But that's going to end the third quarter with the score 20-19. The Union College Bulldogs lead the St. Andrews Knights as we head to the fourth quarter here in Laurinburg, North Carolina. Perry Gabriel, Mark Plemmons, James Melink for you guys here on the call, and we have a doozy here in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. Both teams trying to get their first win.
Today's game brought to you by Carolina Renaissance Festival. It's back this fall, but there are some changes. You can go to renfestinfo.com. That's the Carolina Renaissance Festival, renfestinfo.com. BenMinot.com is the proud sponsor of our halftime show. Shop, click, and drive at BenMinot.com. Family of dealerships, every make and model imaginable. Go online, shop, click, and drive. They'll deliver it to you. You can arrange for financing. You can do it all online at BenMinot.com. And Pizza Hut, our Red Zone sponsor. We eat a lot of pizza today.
Yes, we are. And so are the Knights. They were busy in the red zone a while ago and trying to get right back in there because they're hungry for a score.
Start of the fourth quarter, 2nd and 6, we'll call it. And we get a stoppage of play. As the
umpire stands over top of the ball.
One of the referees on the far side wasn't quite ready.
Now we're set and ready to begin the fourth quarter. 3 receivers for the Knights here. Fowler will keep it himself. He'll jump forward and get to the 45. So we'll pick up a 2 there by Fowler. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 here for the Knights. And this is a big 3rd down here. You're trailing. You're in the fourth quarter. You need to get momentum back. This is a big 3rd down for the Knights.
Yeah, I look for them to put the ball in the air, maybe just something short, go down, draw your defense, get them to draw back and stop, and ball should be in the air before your receiver even turns around. Let's see what they do here.
They split the receivers with 2 each way and Leggett in the backfield. Now he puts Leggett in motion to the left. Fowler's got plenty of time.
Man over the middle, just didn't see him.
He's going to run, now throw it to Leggett, and he'll make the catch right at the marker.
That's going to be close. They stopped the clock, so that's going to be a first down. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they won't measure. That'll be a stoppage and moving it.
Good job there by Fowler. Fowler scrambled out. You said he missed a man across the middle of the field, but he was able to make something happen, giving it to Leggett. And that 3rd down was huge, and they did convert. I mean, trailing by 1. Trying to get momentum back as it looks like it's all shifted over to Union College.
Well,
and
here's ball spotted on the 49. They needed to almost get to the 50 for the first down. I think that was kind of a quick movement, but it's first down now, so it's over with.
Fowler rolling it. He's going to tuck it and run. Hurdles a man and goes down hard onto the ground, but he'll pop up.
I think that was kind of a quick movement, but it's first down now, so it's over with.
Fowler rolling it. He's going to tuck it and run. Hurdles a man and goes down hard onto the himself. Did you see that play when he did that? Mac Brown was nervous there on the sideline for a few moments when the quarterback of Drake May went down, a Charlotte native from Myers Park and Huff. Leggett with the carry up the middle. See where they stop him. Looks like he's going to be about a half a yard to a yard short of the first down. Going to bring up 3rd down and about a yard for the Knights. They're going to spot it at the 42, needing the 41 for the first. Again, another big 3rd down for the Knights. I'll line up McCoy as the only wide receiver. I'm going to
full house backfield.
A huge heavy back house backfield. They hand it to Leggett.
And they stopped that one.
He got stopped right at the 42, and right off the edge was Zion McCray.
And now we've got a little bit of extracurricular activities taking place in the middle of the line.
And if you're the Knights here, you're 2 for 2 on 4th down. You need 1 yard. You need to keep momentum going. Yeah. Do you go for it here, or what do you do? I'm going for it.
Yeah, you don't punt with the flag blowing like that.
And it looks like they might give him the first down actually here, so it might not be a 4th down.
No, it's 4th down.
Oh yeah, they're gonna. Yep, I think they are gonna go for it. They're gonna hurry up and line up for it quick here, and I like this call.
Maybe see if they can draw them off sides.
You hear the chants from the team. There's the snap. Leggett gets it. Oh, he's swallowed up in the backfield, and a huge stop from the Bulldogs.
Big stop there by Union.
One back there to start it all was Jalen Bybee. He was the first one back there in the backfield, number 6.
Now, this is where I talked about don't lose your cool. Still got 11 and a half minutes to go. Get a stop, get the ball back.
And you look down here at the sideline, and you can see some of them disgruntled.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration there settling in. You got some other players trying to calm them down, just relax. Defense can get a stop.
And the one trying to lead the charge of calming them down is the quarterback of Andrew Fowler, trying to calm them down here on the near sideline for the Knights. The Bulldogs take over after turnover on downs with the ball at their own 45. Johnson with the carry. Comes near side across midfield, and he's brought down at the Knights 48. So a pick up a 7 there on first down for the Bulldogs. Brings up a 2nd down and 3 here. 11 minutes remaining in the ball game. St. Andrews not out of it yet. Showing blitz. Bring it off the edge.
Pressure from behind.
Northfleet goes down in the backfield. They brought the blitz. Showing blitz. Bring it off the edge.
Pressure from behind.
Northfleet goes down in the backfield.
Get the player attended to, and
Jalen McFadden, he ran all the way around the whole line. Came off the left side and didn't make the tackle till he got all the way over to the right side. And a good job in pursuit. One of the leaders of the defense. The injured Bulldog there is number 55. That's going to be Chris Carter, the senior offensive lineman from Huntersville, Alabama. Played at Hazel Green High School.
Now, I haven't been there.
Hazel Green, have not been there?
No.
There's not many high schools I know from Alabama, but there are 2 of them that I know.
Hoover
and Thompson.
I was going to say Hoover and Eufaula.
Eufaula, I know them, so actually I know more than that. I know 3, but the 2 big ones that I hear of, you think of, are Hoover and Thompson. That's where Tua the Tungaviola brothers went, and that's also where Paul Tyson went, which is the great-grandson to Paul Bear Bryant. He went to one of those other schools too. So those 2 pretty well-known high schools in Alabama. Northfleet dumps it off. Enough for the first down the sideline, and a big pickup there on 3rd. 2 pretty well-known high schools in Alabama. Northfleet dumps it off. Enough for the first down the sideline, and a big pick.
But it does pick up the first down.
Person he's talking about there is Owens. Owens might have had a hold up there at the top of the screen. But a big play there by Melton. Able to get the first down for the Bulldogs and push the ball all the way up to the 31. And a new set of downs here. 9:48 left in the 4th. Moves a man in motion. Give it to the back of Jackson. Goes left side with it. He gets the first down, finds a hole down the sideline before being shoved out inside the 15 and inside the Pizza Hut red zone. Not too late to go to pizzahut.com, order yourself a pizza, wing, breadsticks.
And the cinnamon sticks.
And those cinnamon sticks. If you don't get it, it may not make it by the end of this game, but you still got games later tonight. Make sure you go to pizzahut.com. Tell them the guys from 4 to 85 sent you.
May have to make a deal with Mark on the way home. If St. Andrews wins, we'll stop at Pizza Hut. If St. Andrews loses, we'll stop at Pizza Hut.
First down and 10 here with the ball at the 11. Northfleet pressure up the middle, and he's swallowed up.
Pizza Hut.
First down and 10 here with the ball at the 11. Northfleet pressure up the middle, and he's swallowed up. just put the old swim on him and swum right by him. A big sack there right when it was needed by DeJuan Joyner. It's going to move the ball all the way back out to the 19. So a second down.
10 on the play clock as they break the huddle.
A second down and about 17 here. Northfleet rolls to the right. And he'll throw it away as pressure was starting to get to him. Pressure from the Knights was Monty Williams. Called his name a couple times today. He's from Raleigh, North Carolina. Went to Green Hope High School.
Green Hope High School, one of the best soccer programs in the state. I do know that.
And you see the players on the field for the Knights trying to get their family members behind it here on the home side. A huge third down for the Knights defense. A 3rd and 17 here, ball spotted at the 19, and the defense steps up. Could force them into a long field goal opportunity and a chance to keep it a 1-point game. Northfleet gets it, rolls left, takes pressure, throws it, and is batted down. And the man there on the bat down was Monty Williams. Long field goal opportunity and a chance to keep it a 1-point game. Northfleet gets it, rolls left, takes pressure, throws it, and is batted down. And the man there on the bat down was Monty. The middle of the field, and he saw the quarterback scramble. He rolled over there with him and put his hands up and never gave up on the play. So good job there by Monty Williams.
So we got a field goal attempt.
It'll be a 46-yarder? Is that? No, 36-yarder.
Ball spotted at the 26, so it'll be 36 yards.
So a 36-yard field goal attempt here.
Snap, spot, kick is.
And that one would have been no good, but whistles.
Yeah, we're going to flag back here. Now,
see if that's on the kicking team.
Does that change your mind if it's, it's offsides on the defense? That makes it about 4th and about 11, 4th and 12.
I still don't think you go for it, but that makes this field goal that much easier now. He had the distance, or he didn't have the distance on that last one, but he was accurate enough for it. And this just closes it up for him and makes it now only a 32-yarder. And whistles on the field again.
They actually moved the ball. Just going to be spotted just outside the 21.
So it'll be a 31-yarder. Place and kick, and is blocked. The second time today the Knights have blocked it, and they're going to pick it up and return it. Monty Williams coming down the near sideline. Got blockers. He's still on his feet at the 50, still running, and knocked out of bounds at the. They're going to pick it up and return it. Monty Williams coming down the near sideline, got blockers. He's still on his feet at the 50, still running. And Williams.
Yeah, I think he was tackled by his own. Do we have a penalty? Yeah, we do have a penalty flag way back down here. I think it's going to be after the interception, though.
No, it was a blocked field goal.
I mean, blocked after the field goal attempt, blocked.
And a big play there by the Knights. Well, you can see what the call is on the field. A costly penalty. The ball would have been spotted all the way up at the Bulldogs 45, and instead the foul happened with a blind slide block back at the 10. Half the distance puts the ball at the 5. So a huge penalty for the for the Knights. A 50-yard difference in field position after the blind side block there. But a blocked field goal all in all for the Knights. Trailing by 1 with 7:52, needing to go 95 yards. Fowler in the gun with Leggett to his right. Fowler gets it, blitz. He tries to dump it off to Leggett, and that one was dangerous. That could have been picked, and that could have been an easy pick 6, but the defender I don't think was quite looking for that one. The defender there, number 20, is that 25 or 29? 29. That's exactly right. You heard Mark say it. Isaiah Osborne was more concerned about trying to stop Leggett than he was the ball that bounced off his fingertips. If he would have saw the ball, that one could have been a pick six. Leggett lined up to the left this time. Fowler in the gun. Fowler set to throw. Quick throw to Roach. He'll catch it at the 12 and fall forward to the 15. That'll be enough to move the chains for the Knights. 7.5 here. Plenty of time. No reason to rush if you're the Knights.
The referee holds his hands out like you see in there. He's substitution. You'll see the other referee over the ball. One team subs. It has to give the other team time to sub as well.
Roach, the man down here by himself. No safety help over the top. Now, nope, they still don't bring safety help. So man on an island is Roach down at the bottom. Looks deep. Throws it. That one in and out of the hands there of McCoy. And that one was a laser parry. He threw that on a rail. And unable to hold on to it was a Mississippi State transfer.
7:02 to go. That'll stop the clock. Bringing up 2nd and 10.
Sorry, not Mississippi State. Southern Miss.
Southern Miss.
Big difference there.
Yeah, Dak Prescott and Brett Favre, big difference.
Big difference, for sure.
I don't think Dak's used any government money for anything that I know of. Sorry.
As they're set to throw it, Fowler is. And McCoy makes the catch on this one, it appears, and he does.
I don't think Dak's used any government money for anything that I know of. Sorry.
As they're set to throw it, Fowler is. And McCoy makes the catch on this
point with the players there on the sideline. But we go by what the official says, and he says it's completed. First down. St. Andrews out to the 25. 6:42 to go.
Slow and methodical is all it takes. They show blitz. He sees it, but jumping off sides is the offense. Leggett frustrated. They're going to get the tight end for the call on that one, though.
Yeah. It just hurts you. It hurts you.
You're going to get Walker.
You can live with a penalty, but you can't live with a penalty on a drive that you need a touchdown on. If you give up 5 yards after you've driven the ball downfield, but they have given up some penalties on big plays that have been called back, and just like this one, you just can't afford to have that.
And Walker was the one that you look down here on the near side that was the most frustrated after the last drive ended on that 4 and out. Roach with the catch at the 25, battles to the 30 and shoved out of bounds after he battled all the way up to the 30. On the near side that was the most frustrated after the last drive ended on that 4 and out. Roach with the catch at the 25, battles to the 30 and shoved out of bounds after.
Watch them fake that. They're going to fake that in a minute. Just watch that in up and out.
Of course, you can always call a play now to be using the play later.
You definitely could use that play later. Put trips right, 1 left. McCoy down here at the bottom. Fowler throws middle of the field. That one's picked. Streaking back with it are the Bulldogs. A tackle is going to be brought down at the 20, trying to rip. Fowler throws middle of the field. That one's picked. Streaking back with it are the Bulldogs. A tackle is going to be brought.
Union gives them the ball at the 20.
Should be around the 22. That's where they're going to spot it.
Yeah, finally get a ball in. It's going to be 22-yard line, 5:20 to go. And
now the urgency has to start.
The urgency starts now. The defense has got to get a strip of the ball. They've got to get a quick 3 and out. Field goal doesn't hurt you, but you got to have some time left. And a touchdown makes it still a one-score game, even if they go for one. But if they go for two, it doesn't. But let's see what they do here.
Jackson with the carry. And he'll pick up a yard there. It's Jackson. And like you said, I think if you're the Bulldogs, you don't want to throw here.
No.
You just want to keep the clock running. So you just need to
that's
try
30
to keep it to a
seconds
minimum.
30 seconds on the play clock. They don't have to snap this till about 4:35. Let's see how much time they use of the play clock. Like I said, about 4:35, 4:33 is where they can snap it. They want to run as much of it off as possible.
Again, they line up 2 left, 1 right, bringing a blitz.
They left about 6
and
on
they
the
are
play
going to
clock.
throw it. They dump it off over to Melton, and he's going to get hit in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah.
Again, they line up 2 left, 1 right, bringing a blitz.
They left about 6
and
on
they
the
are
play
going to
clock.
throw it. They dump it off over to Melton, and he's going to get hit. Stop them where they're at. Actually, going to say forward progress was stopped back at the 23.
So 3rd and 11, 20 on the play clock. Be snapped at about the 352 mark if they want to run all the time off. But right now they're concerned about the first down.
Yeah, if they don't get a first down here, this is going to be a long field goal opportunity. Northfleet, 30 to throw, and that one's up and incomplete, and a good defensive play there by the Knights.
So two good things for the Knights right there. 1, the pass is incomplete. 2, it's 4th down and stops the clock.
Jalen Allen, the freshman defensive back, making a huge play for the Knights. He's out of Columbia, South Carolina.
One of the hottest places on the East Coast.
It is very hot.
It's always hot down there for some reason. You know, it's 5 degrees hotter than wherever it is you're watching from.
So a 40-yard field goal attempt here lined up from the right hash.
They were able to block the last one.
Parker Atwood, the kicker from Paris, Kentucky. Low snap, able to get it off. A line drive.
No chance.
No good. Never had the height. Had the distance, just didn't have the height. And it'll be a turnover on downs for the Bulldogs, and the Knights will take over with 3:44, and the ball spotted at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, so really that possession there cost you about 3 minutes because they're at about the area of the field they were before they threw the interception.
Yep.
With about 6 minutes to go. So that cost them about 2.5, 3 minutes. First down, let's see what the Knights can do.
Yeah, like you said, about the only thing that really cost you was a little bit of time. Now the urgency has to pick up. You can win it with a field goal, and right now the wind's blowing in your face.
Yeah.
Trips right, 1 left. McCoy, the man at the bottom. They give it to Carpenter, who runs over a man. He picks up 4 there.
Yeah, that'll stop the clock for the hat that goes off, and then they'll reset it and start it. So that'll save St. Andrews a little bit of time.
I don't know if you heard the yelling and screaming here on the sideline. One of the defensive leaders there trying to get everybody into it here, wants the offense to go.
Yeah, the whole team is standing on the sideline now. Walker keeps it.
Fowler coming near side.
Fowler, I'm sorry.
He gets to the 40 and runs out, and a big run by Fowler, and it stops the clock. Into it here, wants the offense to go.
Yeah, the whole team is standing on the sideline now. Walker keeps it.
Fowler coming near
Fowler,
side.
I'm sorry.
He gets to the 40 and runs out, and a big 85. Who put that block on? It looked like.
Yeah, 51 coming off the line, got his man turned to the inside.
Good piece of blocking there by Lakey, able to help his quarterback go get the first down and put the ball all the way up to the 41.
Time's still okay, just under 3.
The clock should have stopped there. It's still running. He ran out of bounds.
It starts back up once they get the ball back in bounds.
Even if he runs out. Fowler throws it into the flat to Carpenter, and he's shoved out of bounds. Clock stopped at 2:44 after a pickup of 5.
Now wind the clock.
So second down and 6 here. Clock starting again.
The players are telling him to stop the clock, but they got to go with what the official's telling them. It will under 2 minutes, I think is what they'll do.
Fowler throws, and that one goes incomplete. Now the clock will stop.
Yeah.
Pressure was in his face as Fowler released that one there, and he took a shot by Moore. Yep. Until 2 minutes. So the clock won't stop until under 2 minutes. Players on the sideline are wondering why it wasn't stopped as well, but the reason why is clock doesn't stop if you go out of bounds unless you're under 2 minutes, but stop now due to an incomplete pass there by Fowler. Fowler set to throw, throws across the middle, and dangerous again as that one was almost picked off. So he was trying to get it to McCoy.
A quick 4th down. You've got to go for it.
Irving in there. Or not Irving. Bybee in there for the defensive play, but you just heard Perry mention 4th down, and it's a big one. 2 for 2 today so far on 4th downs. None bigger than this one right here. 4th down and 6 with 2:19, trailing by 1. 10 on the play clock. They substitute in Lakey. McCoy at the bottom by himself. Fowler gets the snap, got time. Flushed from the pocket, throws, and that one's caught
on the far side.
That's caught by Carpenter. Carpenter up to the 10. What a play by Ant Carpenter. Flushed from the pocket, throws, and that one's caught
on the far side.
That's caught by Carpenter. Carpenter up to the 10. What a play by play. They're 3 for 3 today on 4th downs. None bigger than that one right there.
That might be the biggest one of the season right there.
And that right there, the biggest play of the game for the Knights.
Yeah, we're under 2 minutes, and now we get a stoppage of play. We're going to get a timeout.
What a play by Ant Carpenter.
Union calls a timeout, folks. So let's reset this for you right now. Both teams 0-6.
Yep.
We expected a competitive ball game. We got it. 20-19. Union leads. However, St. Andrews just completed a big 4th down, moves the ball inside the Pizza Hut red zone. Minute 52 to go. 1st down. They can still get a
first down. They can get one
at
the 3.
They can still get a 1st down at the 3. So they want to run as much of this 152 off the clock as possible. Union has had some pretty good returns on the kickoffs.
Yes.
So right now the option are 1. Let's put the ball in the end zone. If we have to do the field goal, we are in field goal range. This is more almost just an extended extra point here if you have to kick the field goal. But let's see what they do here as St. Andrews and Union battling it out 20-19. One of these teams is going to get the first win. One of the coaches is going to get the first Gatorade bath.
And I can tell you if Coach Jay Alverson's watching this one, he's going ecstatic right now. That's one of his young men from last year at West Charlotte.
Look at this. Up the middle.
Look at Andrew Fowler fight for
touchdown.
And there's the touchdown for the Knights. Andrew Fowler piles through the middle by himself. Ecstatic right now. That's one of his young men from last year at West Charlotte.
Look at this. Up the middle.
Look at Andrew Fowler fight for
touchdown.
And there's the touchdown for the Knights. Andrew Fowler. Front of 435 pounds just ran right through his arms. And like I was saying there, if you're Coach Jay Alverson, seeing your young man from last year over at West Charlotte of Ant Carpenter make a big play like that, if you're watching this, you're freaking out right now, going ecstatic. And that was a huge play there by Andrew Fowler. Pure determination that he was not going to be stopped. Runs it up the middle, punches it in. The Knights take the lead here in Laurinburg. Coach Robert Curtin, 0-6 as a head coach here for the Knights, trying to get his first win and first Gatorade bath of his career. He's a minute 45 away from it. Perry, if you're a coach, you're trying to get your first win as a head coach. It's been a tough year all year so far. You're now leading, 1:45 left. How nervous are you right now?
You know, from a coaching standpoint, he's not new at coaching. So I don't think he's nervous at all. He's been through this at other levels, at the high school level, and as an assistant. I don't think he's nervous. I think he's concerned because he's still got time on the clock. And, in any game, at any level, when there's time on the clock.
They go for two, and that one's going to get in there from McCoy.
Yeah.
That makes it a 7-point.
Nervous. I think he's concerned because he's still got time on the clock. And, in any game, at any level, when there's time on the clock.
They go for two, and that one's going to get in there from McCoy.
Yeah. Look at Appalachian State, North Carolina.
Oh, my.
Was Mac Brown concerned with a minute to go?
No, probably not.
And then you get the strange onside kickoff. The guy runs for the touchdown. The pass play broken up. They score. Anything can happen.
Yeah, they scored 4 touchdowns in about 90 seconds in that game. UNC and App State to start the season. Very high-scoring affair. 63-61, something like that? I mean, it was
65-63, I think it was.
It was a crazy scoring game there to open up the season. And no play bigger on that drive than the one Ant Carpenter made there on that 4th down play. We don't want to say that run there from Andrew Fowler wasn't huge, but play by Ant Carpenter was huge. That kept the drive alive, got them inside the Pizza Hut red zone, and they were able to strike and make it 27-21-45. The Knights set to kick off, kicking into the win here, so should get good field position.
Yeah, we've watched this kickoff return up the middle. Let's just see what they do here. They're going to kick it, and he stepped out of bounds. Yeah, that's going to stop it. Wow.
He did. That foot hit the line here on the near side at the 29-yard line, and that couldn't have went any more perfect for the Knights. Because they could have let it bounce, and it could have went out. I'll shoot it over to him.
So here, do we have a penalty flag? I don't see a flag on the field. Okay, now they just dropped the penalty flag, and here's going to be the call on the field. They're going to say the ball was out of bounds before he caught it.
I don't think it was. The foot hit. He was in bounds.
Yeah, that's what they're discussing. They're going to say the ball was out of bounds when he caught it. His foot was touching the ground, and that puts the ball at the 35 or the opportunity to make them re-kick. That's the only thing I could think of because there was no penalty flag until he just dropped it literally 10 seconds ago. So that gives them an extra.
Yeah, my. And that's devastating. They're going to go ahead and re-elect for the kick. Yep.
Yeah, so they want to run down. I thought he touched it and stepped out of bounds.
I sent it to him.
Oh. Yeah, so that's going to back him up 5 yards, but more importantly, it gives them that chance for a return. I'm at the point, minute 45, you got to go 60, 65, 70 yards. If you can go 60, you can go 65 or 70. But the chance of a bigger return now looms for Union.
Yeah, now that the ball is going to be moved back to the 30, and the ball was only at the 29 in that one, it looks like the ball is going to be inside the 30 if they kick it that far again, and Union can get the ball close to midfield here if it goes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the call to try to pin them in and give that extra defender, which is your sideline, and that way you kind of got an extra, defense there. But I'm like most of our viewers here on site. I don't know that ball was caught out of bounds.
I think he was inbounds when he caught it, and that right foot just happened to hit a little bit of the white paint.
So we're set to do this again from the 30 this time.
This time they'll boot it again the same way, and it will go out of bounds.
Yeah,
no question about that one. And we got two players tuffling up here in the middle of the field.
And that flag, that's an out-of-bounds kick. So that's going to
Got 2 players mixing it up here at about midfield. No flag due to it, but 2 players.
Yeah. And Mark just made a good point. If we look at that wind, that flag, it's left to right, but it's also kind of blowing towards the press box here, towards this side of the field. And that's carrying that wind, carrying that ball, and they're going to re-kick again.
And they're loving this if they're Union. They're not taking any time off the clock.
Yeah, they picked up 10
they're
yards.
A free 10 for nothing.
Yeah, no time off the clock. I'm not so sure now that I maybe just come down and line drive that thing on the ground and maybe get it to bounce and give your defender time to get down.
Yeah, just hit a line drive like you said and have it bounce as far as it can.
You maybe take a chance that it bounces off someone.
And I think that's a good opportunity considering you're back all the way to your own 25 now.
Yeah, here, Parents Day crowd, breast cancer awareness.
And they could start it. They could get the ball on the reception here at the 40 and start from midfield if they just get 10 yards. And they have a minute 45 to go score. So the Knights here needing to drive this one as far as they can. And they will. They'll drive it straight down the middle this time, and it'll go all the way back to the 24. Good punt. Gets a hole far side, turns it upfield. Gets the edge, but drugged down from behind, but he still gets across the 50.
We have a penalty flag over here on this side. I'm going to say it's going to be offsides on the kicking team.
But I'd take it from there and just take the free 5.
Yeah, I think you decline that and go because you just took 10 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, I think you.
Yeah, tack it on at the end.
You tack it at the end, like you said, give them the free 5 right here. I think that's what you do. I would. You're across midfield here. That would put the ball up to the 30 to the 41.
Kicking team number 18. 5 yards to be added to the end of the run. First down.
They got that penalty there on Vanderburg, the sophomore from Buffalo, New York. And moves the ball up to the 41-yard line in great field position here for the Bulldogs. Trailing by 7 with 1:35, needing a touchdown.
A couple dozen folks from Barberville that's made the trip. Standing on the far side, St. Andrews standing as well, folks, minute 35.
Northfleet set to throw. He'll look deep, got a man, and it's just out of his reach as he laid out trying to get it, couldn't get it. As wide open was Johnson. Johnson was wide open, just out of his reach. 1:29 remaining here. And the nerves for the parents.
Penalty
you can
flag.
See it.
I did see the
holding on the defense, number 27. That's
five,
Korea.
5 straight plays of penalties
That moves the ball up to the 31-yard line for the Bulldogs. And 5 straight penalties
16
in 16 seconds. And we talked about how penalties were going to be a big key in today's game, and they have been so far. Northfleet to throw. Dumps it off into the flat. Is going to be Johnson. Cuts.
Touchdown.
Johnson running in there. And a touchdown for the Bulldogs. And we are an extra point away. Dumps it off into the flat. Is going to be Johnson. Cuts.
Touchdown.
Johnson running in there. And a touchdown for the Bulldogs.
You only had to go 40 yards as opposed to going 70. Yeah, and 30 more yards changes your playbook.
And if you're Union, you're trailing by 1. You have nothing to lose here. Do you go for 2? You have nothing to lose. You haven't won yet on the year, neither of the Knights. Do you decide to go for the 2-point conversion, or do you want to play for overtime?
What's the old saying, Mark? Play for the tie on the tie at home, win on the road.
So
Mostly baseball, though.
tie at home, win on the road is the quote. So it sounds like the logic says you guys go for 2 here. I don't know. I honestly don't know what you do. There's 1:18 left. I think that if you go for it, I think it would be huge for sure. But why not just play for the tie and hope for it in overtime?
Well,
it's tough.
Okay, here's my thought from a non-coaching standpoint.
Tough decision for John Luttrell.
I'm going for the win.
I mean,
I'm challenging my kids.
You might as well.
I'm going for the win.
You have nothing to lose, like you said. You're 0-6 on the season.
Yeah.
You're trying to get the win. You want to put a 1 in that column that still holds a 0. And the defense here.
And here's the other thing. Here's why I'm going for the win. I'm going for the win. If I don't make it, I'm onside kicking.
Better say you got an
and I still have a chance to get the ball back and score again.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking after you said you go for the win was you have a shot to get that onside kick. And the offense is heading out there, Perry. And Northfleet's out there. This is the ball game. Or could be the ball game, we shall say. Trips tight to the right. Northfleet gets it. Looks into the flat. Got a man and overthrows him. And that falls incomplete. And that's remnants of what was that? The App State game. The man was open, just missed it.
Coach Alverson just said, go for the win.
And Coach Alverson would have called it just like Coach Luttrell did from the far side of the field. And that was basically the same play that we saw App State draw up against UNC. And it was the same result.
Alverson said the dude was wide open. I said, yeah, Appalachian State, Carolina. But, yeah, so St. Andrews, yes, they've stopped.
But they still have something to do.
It's not over. They've got to cover the onside kick.
They have to get the onside kick.
We know we're going to see the onside kick. Here's where that timeout that our producer Mark and I were discussing earlier. They need that timeout now. They don't have it.
Yes. Because if you had 3 instead of 2, if you were able to get the ball, you might be able to get it back with about 45 seconds left. Now you only have 2 timeouts, and you pretty much have to pluck the ball out of their hands or recover this onside kick.
So St. Andrews Union 27-26. The Knights up by 1. Perry Gabriel, James Melink, Mark Plemmons. Coach live here in Laurinburg with Coach Alverson on the sideline back in the Charlotte area listening to us, telling us to go for the win as well. And his man Ant getting that reception earlier in that late in the fourth quarter to get this thing where it is now. But, man, you got your – maybe that's what we need. We need All-State as State Farm as the all-hands team is on board here.
As we are set for the onside kick, and Coach Robert Curtin trying to get his first win here as head coach for the Knights. So we await the onside kick. A big kick here. It travels, it bounces.
Goes out of bounds.
Does go out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a penalty flag.
And if you're the Knights, you just take the ball where it's at. You don't have to have them re-kick it. I don't think you have to in college, do you? You can take the ball. And if you do, that could end the game. Yeah, they're taking it. They're not going to make them re-kick it. And that's a good call there by the coach of Robert Curtin of doing that.
So I think they've got 1 timeout left. They're completely out. Okay.
They're out? So, I thought they had 2.
So you take a knee. Basically, you should be in victory formation with 1:18. You should not have to worry about it because you've got 25 seconds. So you take a knee at about the 112, 110. That'll run 25 off 50 seconds. Yeah, you should not have to.
You only should have to run 3 plays.
Yeah.
You run 3 plays here, and this game is over.
Yeah, this victory formation here.
Andrew Fowler to get the snap. The senior goes under center. Takes the first knee. They'll bump the play clock up to 40.
Yeah, so they won't have to. Let's see, it starts. So,
yeah, they got
about 42-second mark. Let's see.
Let's see where it's at.
Oh, I'm sorry, the 38 seconds.
Yeah,
they
one more snap.
Yeah.
They snap the ball one more time. And the Knights and head coach Robert Curtin have their first win of the season.
They're feeling the Mark, can you get a shot of the Gatorade down there being filled up?
They're filling the bucket.
They are filling the buckets down here.
They are ready to go get the coach. They're picking it up here on the near sideline, heading that direction now. They're chasing after head coach Robert Curtin as he's getting a bear hug, and he's doused in the Gatorade. First win for head coach Robert Curtin, moving to 1-6 on the season, 1-2 in the conference.
I think I read his lips. 78, that's 2 extra laps next week.
As the Knights will come out of here victorious. We haven't struck 0 on the clock yet, but it doesn't matter because the Knights come out victorious. 27-26 here in an absolute shootout between the Knights, Robert Curtin, between the Knights and the Bulldogs. Head coach Robert Curtin getting his first win. Perry, this game did not disappoint. We looked at it on paper and we said it wouldn't.
Yeah, how many times we come down here and we say, the folks down here, the parents, the moms, the dads, the grandparents, everything, they come down here, they enjoy this game just like everybody else. It doesn't matter if you're in Chapel Hill, Raleigh, Death Valley, wherever, watching a football game. They come down here, they tailgate, they watch their kids, they cheer, and they're ready for exciting football. It was no different today. These folks saw a great ball game, and it was, we talked about it. It was going to be from day one. From hour one, we thought it was going to be the ball game we need to see. Exactly like you said, and I'm telling you right now, I'm standing here, and I got goosebumps, and it's an NAIA game, just like I do when I watch the big games on TV. It means just as much to these kids. Look at them out there dancing on the field, Perry. It means just as much as it does to everyone else to win a football game. It doesn't matter what level it's out. These kids are having fun out there for the St. Andrews Knights, and it's just been a crazy game, man. And we're going to get an interview here with the coach. Well, perfect. While we're doing that and we're waiting on him, player of the game for you. We'll go ahead and check our players of the game while we're sitting here real quick. I think you give it to the St. Andrews defense. They gave up some big plays today, but they did not give up when they needed to. For me, if I have to choose one, it's a toss-up between two, but I'm going to go with Ant Carpenter. The reason is because Ant made a huge play, and we're down there on the field with the coach. We're going to ask him. I don't know if we have any audio there. I don't think we can hear it. I'm not sure we have any audio. Yeah, I don't think we're catching any audio. Audio's on. Great job there by head coach Robert Curtin, trotting back towards the side. Look at him. He's waiting. His boys are waiting on him over here, ready to greet him
as head coach Robert Curtin greeted by his team. In the huddle there.
Yeah, and we saw a good game, and these boys should be proud. The coach should be proud of these kids for not giving up, for doing what you asked. Okay. Yeah, we just did realize we did not have the audio for that interview, but we'll see. But yeah, it's Union fought back. I mean, 27-26. They know they can compete with the teams that are similar, athletic ability-wise, and just a great ball game. 27-26. These two teams battling it out today, and comes down to the final play, basically, of the day. And look at these parents, look at these kids coming to the sideline. They are smiling. They are taking selfies. They are doing a little bit of everything right now.
Yeah, it means a lot. On Parents' Day, to get the win, it means a lot. And that first win is very special for the head coach of Robert Curtin, able to get his first win today. And it was a big game for the Knights, able to come out victorious, heading into the bye week with a W.
See, I don't want a bye week right now.
No, not right now.
I don't know who their next game's up against. But I give the kids Monday off for practice. I'm thinking, no, let's keep this momentum. And things like this at programs at this level, games like this, plays like this, performances like this can change, maybe not the whole season, but it can change the attitude of some players. Say, you know what, we need to start, this guy here needs more playing time. We need to do this. This just makes a big difference for everybody on this field right now. Winning this ball game. I mean, it come down to the last play. That's what you want as a coach. That's what you want as a team. You want to be able to compete, play fair. Yeah, if you lose, Union lost today, but still, they played a great ball game. And you never would know those are two 0-6 teams out there by the way they battled and the way they fought back and forth. The only reason you knew they were 0-6 is because we told you they were 0-6.
It was a battle out there all day. Those two left it all out there on the line, as you mentioned. You would have never known they were 0-6. Both of those teams, and somebody was fighting for their first win. You would have never thought it. And a lot of hugs being handed out down there for the Knights.
Brothers and sisters. One of the football players got his two younger siblings here. They've got his number on, wearing it. And just a great day here at St. Andrews. Great day to be a Knight on Parents' Day and breast cancer awareness. And I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of people on this field hanging around for the just a post-game congratulatory handshake, hugs, and selfies.
Yes, sir.
And everything going on right here.
I agree. And you mentioned going into a bye week. They don't want to do that, but they are heading into a bye week next week, and then they go on the road to defend the trophy that they won here last year against Kentucky Christian University and the Knights Classic. So big game coming up for them in 2 weeks, too, trying to keep that trophy in Laurinburg.
Yeah, two in a row possibly for St. Andrews. Uncharted territory, but, hey, anything can happen.
Have to keep an eye on that one as they are on the road for that matchup in 2 weeks. Perry, great game. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I've said this many, many times. Give me a ball game that's going to be good, I'll go. I don't care who's playing. And that's what we saw today. And then just to have the opportunity to come down here on 485 Sports and for St. Andrews to be here for this game, I enjoy it, and we saw a great game today. And we see kids that normally don't get the coverage that they get at the bigger schools and everything, but they played their hearts out today, both schools, and they did it rightfully so. And St. Andrews is going to walk out of here with the victory.
Yeah, I look at Union, and I think they got nothing to hang their head on here. They got more matches they'll be in later this year. They have a shot to win it. Yeah, tough loss today for them, but, next time maybe they overcome that adversity and they find a way to get that win. Bright future for Union. And I look over here at St. Andrews, and I look at a lot of stuff that was positive. I look at the leadership of Andrew Fowler when he came over to the sideline after that 4-and-out and how he calmed his team down. Great leadership by him there. Then late in the drive, he scores. And then I look at the young guys that made big plays, like the running back of Williams, who's a freshman. The freshman of Ant Carpenter, who was making big plays today. I look at the future for them. It's very bright as well. And I look at there's going to be a lot of time for this St. Andrews team to be good in the future.
Yeah, and the other thing it does, too, is it adds to this rivalry. Union and St. Andrews will meet again next year in Barboursville, Kentucky. And, Union's going to have a little bit of payback on their mind.
Oh, yeah.
St. Andrews is going to be like, oh, wait a minute, guys, we beat you twice in a row. So it just adds a little bit to the rivalry, and everybody needs a rivalry game. And, they're not nationally ranked, and neither is Union. So this makes the game between these two, just like Kentucky Christian, just makes it that much more important because it's games that they can compete in.
Yes, it does, exactly, as Perry said. All right, well, that's going to do it here from Laurinburg, North Carolina, with the St. Andrews Knights improving to 1-6 on the season, 1-2 in conference. Head coach Robert Curtin getting his first win as the Knights win 27-26 here over Union College Bulldogs. For Perry Gabriel, Mark Plemmons, I'm James Melink. Thank you for listening to the broadcast. Until next time, here when you find us on November 5th here back in Laurinburg, everyone be safe. Thank you. This broadcast is the official rights of St. Andrews University. All rights belong to St. Andrews University. Please contact them for exclusive rights.